Resources has signed a $37 million processing plant agreement with global equipment giant FL Smith for the supply of key long lead items and critical spares for the Black Volta Gold project in Ghana. Equipment deliveries are scheduled for 2026 ahead of the mine's planned 2027 startup. Speaking to Razor TV during the signing of the deal in Accra, Azuma Resources CEO Mugabe Maase said the plant will be largely managed by Ghanaians, showcasing local capacity in modern mine operations. He added that the company intends to expand into complementary industries and develop Azuma Village, a hub to support broader economic activity.
Most of the work that is actually done is by the locals. We have the expertise here now, and Azuma will prove prove everybody else wrong. As part of our strategies, Azuma is going to venture into other external industries. You know, the northern side is blessed with so many other ventures, like for instance the shea butter industry and stuff like that. Those are some of the value chain that my colleague was talking about. We've acquired land. Those are early times here. We acquired land for a set purpose.
FL Smith's vice president for mining capital in Europe, Arab and Africa, Mugabe Maase, noted that the project will include extensive training for Ghanaian personnel to ensure efficient equipment operation.
In Ghana and within West Africa, so we've trained up people over the last few years, so we established in Ghana and we're here to stay. So part of the project will be that ongoing upliftment and ongoing training of the local Ghanaians in terms of the operations of the equipment, the maintenance of the equipment, and ultimately the earlier we bring them on, the more they own the overall operations of the plant and become owners of the overall project.
Under the long lead package, FL Smith will supply grade 3 crusher, Raptor cone crusher, SAG and ball mills, screens, apron feeders, pumps, among others. FL Smith will also provide technical support during detailed engineering, as well as site support for installation, startup, commissioning, and training.
Shortly after His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife, was installed on the throne, he paid a visit to Ghana to visit the Yoruba people in Ghana. And on the program, they had arranged for him to pay a courtesy call on me. And so after he had wound up his visits with his people, he paid a visit to me at the time I was president in my first incarnation. I received him at home warmly, like a brother, and he was like a younger brother to me, very open, very warm, and there was this magic relationship that immediately formed. Shortly after that, I went into the elections of 2016 and I lost. Most people are fair weather friends. After I lost, for some people I would no longer have been important to them. But when he came and visited me when I was president, he invited me to pay a visit to his palace in Ile-Ife. And so through my sister, he kept asking, when is your brother coming to visit me? And he kept asking her, when is your brother coming to visit me? And I was impressed because I was nobody, I was in opposition, and yet his insistence that I come and visit him was something that moved me. And so on one day I gave a date And when I came, he received me so warmly. And after we had finished the visit, he took me to all the secret corners of the palace. And the word that came from the secret places was that, go, you will get your seat back. And truly, in 2024, I was re-elected as president. I don't take this honor lightly. I know that there's a historic bond between the people of Ghana and the people of Nigeria. When Nigeria prospers, Ghana prospers. When Ghana prospers, Nigeria prospers. God brought two of us together. We are like twins of the same mother, except when we are playing football and then when we are cooking jollof. But I want to say this chieftaincy title, I receive it on behalf of all the people of Ghana. It will further cement the relationship between us. And as Oni said, my stepmother of blessed memory, I received this chieftaincy title on her behalf. Hajia Nusrat Balogun. At a point in time when my father had to come into exile, I had just finished university, and it was decided that one of us should come and stay with him. And so I was dispatched to come and keep him company. And so for several years I lived in Nigeria. I was in Lagos, I was in Offa, and I was even in Kano with our late brother Sharaf Balogun. May he rest in peace. And I was received very warmly, like family. You couldn't tell that I was not originally born here. Almost everybody in Offa knew me. I used to go to different relatives' houses, and wherever I go and food is ready, I'll sit and I'll eat amala or eba and egusi. And so I believe that that created the bond that I share with the country of Nigeria. I have an empathy with this country, and I believe that as long as I'm president, I'm going to continue to work to bring our two people even closer together. Indeed, historically, we are the same people, because as the Oni said, the Ghana people of Greater Accra, where our capital is, trace their origins to Ile-Ife here. And as the governor said, and I acknowledge him, and I ask him to give my warmest greetings to Governor Adeleke when you meet him, our sub-region is facing challenges. We all know what is happening in the Sahel. 3 of our members have decided to break away and form the AES. I believe that it shouldn't deter us, because God put us in this sub-region together for a purpose. And so I believe that instead of ostracizing them, we must work to continue to build a bridge between ECOWAS and our brothers in the Sahel. Because our destinies are tied together. In Ghana, they say if there's fire burning in your neighbor's house, take water and go and help him to quench the fire. Because when he finishes burning his house, it will spread into your house. And so we must continue to build bridges with our brothers in the AES countries and continue to encourage them to come back into the fold. I want to thank President Tinubu for the friendship that we share. I've known President Tinubu for many years. He's been like an elder brother to me. And he's been a source of inspiration. Even when times were hard and I was in opposition, he never broke his friendship with me. And so on this occasion, I want to thank him and also dedicate this conferment of chieftaincy to him. And so let me thank everybody. Like I said, time is fast spent. I want to thank you for the honor done me. It shows the love that I enjoy here in Nigeria. because today is a Monday for all of you to leave whatever you're doing, and I know some of you are very busy, you know, people with big businesses, for you to have left your Monday and come and join us here in Ile-Ife to
on TV SYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics in a different Studio Hall 37. Abebe Street, the heart of Accra, Usuri, in all the 16 regions across the country. Yeko Western Regional Capital, Takradi, Sharp 106.9 FM, Izia Mile and Bele Western 100.3 FM, Futa Regional Capital Hall, Global 105.1 FM, Muti Region 3 radio stations in FI and Live, New 89.7 FM. Kete here from Okpasana Boom FM ewo Jiasikane. Central Regional Capital Cape Coast Adom Sounds Kremu Okotokraba Market Asinfo so Rich FM omoso Kremu ewo. Yiboshi yeko afo Regional Capital go so enananum 92.5 FM Sanso na Dunu FM so ewo Sankore. Yimura mu ewo Bono Region Tiny 80.9 FM Soko ena Nsoma FM so Nkra Nkwanta. Yemfu wa Yemoshi inafe yonko eye other regions no wa W from Kremu ho Bole eye Nkiligi from Savannah region Sasanesi John Dramani Mama Krum Yeko Upper East region I Krokes for Boko Source 100.1 FM Zems FM Wezebela na Pusiga eye Wingpan Sampa Wende FM Yeko London GFM radio ne Fire Life radio so ena po 68 FM so ewo Virginia ewo America memo Facebook Live Power 979 NATV SYZ Ghana Sanson on YouTube eye SYZ broadcasting meeting Ede Mugabe Maase betimi afremi capacity man sama yede ebrewo ene ewie ensam no de emu ehye nanso ne beto ibo asene bibi ni nyina mu over the weekend eya kesim ene course ewo Ghana ha ba course Ashanti Regional Capital eye Kumasi Heroes Park ho ena dadi number Ghana fo nyina no yekuja no kwan ewo na ye kese pa na de agiba bia no ewo Koforidua Eastern Regional Capital na chese ho ni dwabe na nya asam keto Dr. Omanebo ama former defense minister no so na yie nsu eto ye ne ne course wo de ese wani esese ye ka kire wo ho nsem no etesan ye de ni ekire eye northern region kura for wo se pandaya won so no de na ekoso ewo abato wa ebekoso rewra no ho nsem no say the two political parties I'm talking about the NDC and then NPP two political parties akesim yeni de na ekoso campaign to say na info global info analysis omuso nsembɛn no mudi aba betudwa ni nyina no Musa Dankwa ne team no ni nyina eba mo waso ehun ne ekoso ne wo se NDC yes de bi omutini age seat no e de free the New Patriotic Party MPP wo mo ensem nyina no e wo se mo hu ne ekoso e wo ho ensem bibire na chese na wo twe wie etumi ekoko so ye nua Bimpon ene eye wo birthday happy birthday to you Bimpon meje se bibia boko aseda kese koma Divine Hope Heba Center omode otwa ba powder ena eboy power specialist about hospital yema me edu ya bronyen kwaji apomden sele bia bronyen obetime de ni Safari Valley Eco Resort ewo dewi na Eastern region osofo ani kire ho omo environment oni ye serene wokowa wani beji ye papa pana bronyen woso wetimi a chele Victory Garlic Message Dr. Amwako apomden no mani CP Medimosis Clinic and Eba Center na ekofa liquid capsules dia ba ye no so eboa sele bia betimi a support liver function no maybe bia ko enkan digestion so no be take place here wunya liquid capsules no be boba ebetumi abo ni nyina free Medimosis asoye na eba natural mineral water simply natural Melcom show BMO nationwide urema ubenya bi ato woba SYZ broadcasting ha 37 na BBC Street ewo usuanso a ubenya bi na nsuo Ghana fo nyina gye atomanu ene edi eye Christmas Tema Development eye Corporation omo so ekyere se abedi omo landmark project ya chesidi da so ne whole Oxygen City TDC Development and also Airbus on the 17th of December 2025 na Wednesday by exactly 10 a.m. Channel so se wunyo emfiri mu bien penifo titu His Excellency John Dramani Mahama President of the Republic in penifo kukudan omo nyina betumi akopie mu ewo dwumedie ase dwumako nyina da roma ne techira ye de dwumedie ebro na asira kese PSN so nkoma Hebron Hills International School was excel and shine na ensamuno sene etie pepe epe eno no afi ye na ho semeti om na afi ye mra e ba ye begibre na ye de nsem nyina mu nkyire mu ede amam. To the people, welcome back. Support from the 900 million angels, NG Gabriel, and as usual, me lady a year, angels, no 900 million angels, na eja mo edimesi eni mo say memo ijana me fama a year or my Ghana. Over the weekend in CCC, and say a year miracle and about controversial a year in Kumasi. That the number dieno, Nensu Bibia Kodedi Elho. Yemra yani ayediem eye Eastern region Koforidua na nsu atoye ewo Eastern region die na no ohye sinsu ne toya ma hu say yes nsu no ekasa na no ohye ya mama my take it for granted o manebo ama yenhwe ne mayi. Yes. Some of us are very close to Dr. Mugabe during the elections, before, during, after the elections. Here, Juma together, no. In him, how papa na kuma. Or Dopano or my way is city. I know something before you don't bet me a beer. But, Mamma Nema Emre Mamma Momo la Keshe. Mami etiase yere ne mba mamo momo la keshe. Yes. Sampeni fo won hwe na omokohwe wo monkwa no. E wo wie nhye no mu no. Ye ntwe ani enhwe wo yere no omomayiye. Ejuma mu ana moto anananom e won se do. Ya ni wi fintem. Nipa ruwa yanka na kira asem omukọ ati yanka yomo Alhaji Limona Miniru ni yere ne mba yanka yomo Mutala Muhammad ni yere ne mba yanka yomo Abuaje ne busu yanka yomo sojafo mienu aneka ho ni munyanfo Dr. Samuel Sapon yanka ne yere ne mba yanka ka ye ho Kofi Atameos mijire se bibia boko nipa wu a na ka kai se nipa bi mo ho Kofi Atameos President Maase ba ewie mechiao semo ho Enfrema mfa kwa wo. Oti ase abeti ase, wonti ase. Enfrema bi emfa kwa. Se mo ho se bi makwa ye campaign. Ewo campaign ase beats eye mo kan say wa nyesa na mo kan no. Wa omoye wo no. Umotimi aburu bia ma ba ko awu se de yete no bibi nsi kwa Omo wa so no munti me se bibi nyeden ensi kwa no mutu bi ayetu bi anya very careful die bi a ebibu hu aten the steps bi a ye take bi a no aya enwe hu mienu ene nipa ho chine na nipa ni ho ena eye date keke obi anso beko eye date keke. So sometimes when I sit behind the console na me kasa and some no eba na me kan me we no be say me say dey na me kan e bi wo ha me ntimi nkan nkanchiro when I'm in the spirit me ntimi hu nkanchiro ba ya trust ne yanka kai ho you nipa bi wo ho a omo to nuro every week. You more ye dialysis every week. Omo do omo kwani omo life bibia to homa NDC. Let's reach out to them. And then you nyina so letimi pia abontene. Let's reach out to them. I know said the welfare department mo boy juma. Me nua eye William Zatamojimo mo boy juma papa. Let's reach out to some of the people who you who mo ewo programs ase FL once in a while na sorry na akochia wo mo na akofie ni omo ni mo akodi nkomo. Let's reach out to them. Nipa ho na chine na nipa ni ho my trasia wo say esimesi ni ho na afi ni e ba be kai no otiase no de na e man. Yes. Me kasa ene me kasa. Tu no so da fom boko. Oma oso omonsa. Du akodu parliament ewie ni wie fi wo ma. Na onu omonam somi ha. Ne nam gates ni ne ye campaign ni wie fi wo mo. Appointment BSC na so. Because na appointment aba SC na so. O man no no mo kon nakra na onu omo ebrenam gata no ene ni refi omo fe no kwa no hoko na wonye den onfa awrechi kire ho ifi nipa ho. Yes ti ye bia enye ni ye ma enye hwehwe ni mu ba bia betimi abo nipa no ye mo nipa no de be kakra bia betimi ayede ama no ye nye ma no washa office was a catcher secretary and catcher is a mini ho. So Sata mana ope MP and ope position bi no. Na tembia and omofrewa o mane wa na nekoba. You reach out to everyone. Me kasa na attach like me kasa na what we say a count e wo so. Omani bo amane lead ye anadwo ye na me fra omane anadwo de suma obefa wo hu me square obe return call no ye ba power onya defense ministry wasi muga brani ni nkomo the first interview fia no ba you bi mu nso ho a ya dumbi ene du makodu ba bia wo ma ye de wo maduro no because obi a expect some position mi wa ye de be ma wo mo but ya adom president ni ntimi ntwa nani enhwe obi a chief of staff nko antumi nye Dr. Kalisus ko antumi nye appointees no yan reach out to our grassroots for no Christmas is just around the corner. Mama yanya say opposition na muga ni memo de ba ye mo say no, I know. I'm not going to blame any appointee. I know how it is. But let's reach out to our grassroots, the foot soldiers. Manu motital posters no brunya eba ye momo smile kakra biensa ye momo feel say your power. Let's reach out to them. Okobo radio stations dey Ebeka say me person me kasa me be mu. I'm not going to do that. Me de Mugabe o. De me meka no obi ntumi nka. Ba me hye nipa na odi ya wa ya na eye me ya. Koso bi ho a wonu obi obeka na sema kire ama no. Okosu kire obi kura na obi ho kura na che se obefra wa befa fo na beka nkranhye sema kire no no woda se ne blood pressure no kɔ so rate me yeden etime ba fo mboko. Obi do good board na nipa ye ho ma bia samejamfi obedu eye wayi na waye ma basentali senyu munku anso ni amu appointment wana ameboa. Samejamfi is doing very very well. Basentali is doing very very well. My brother Basentali Yamisha Samejamfi Yamisha. My MD is doing very well. Edmond Combat. Honorable Kwame Agboja, Transport Minister Honorable Bukari, Honorable Kofi Bua, Lands and Natural Resources, Ninia Eye Honorable Kennedy, Water Resources, Works and Housing, Agric Minister Honorable Eric Opoku, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Samuel Okujoto Ablakwa, IGP and the Pussy Force Fire Service Yeniaba Mausi Sapoma Fire Force Yewo the month of December and then the 15th I cut 10 days ni kudibrunya soja fu ani age CDS ebi abekobia no appointees ni eye chuma. But ene e kamakuma e touch me like e kamakuma say ene me can be bench appointees ne say yet now opposition 8 years e kuma de emrante ne mabawa na yeden ache ten days ya akai so we MP identify about 20 people in your constituency. Woman no mudi wachi a wonu mo koba. Woman no mo ko work Saturday Sundays. Woman no mo na manajo etital posters. Obi wo ha wonte ase ne yire wo ho. Obi wo ha wonte ase ne maame wo ho. Let's reach out to them. Aka 10 days ni akwa di bronya. Ene ye 15 December. Kakra me to me ayeno. I will do it. But also dia na wo ye. To make sure say wo be manipa be ye edu. Ensa to me akomo ano e wo brunya ebem. Na so mo transese no mo tun say didi a o mo timi aka say honorable yi na mi nhira no. Eya ni ewure fi ntam dodo. Wo se ko na ba, o si wo da bi we obeha me. Nti onfa. Bronya eba enyanka ye kai omo. Ye maame mo ye nananom, o ma omo kuruma wu agya omo, de omo bedi eden ye kai omo ana e wo this time. Enye de bia na me ba betena abeka NDC MPP. Your positioner min blemu obia. Ena de ne de eya de se de na me de to appointees no mo obie no. Yakopon ahira wo mo nsam no. so omuma be enso yen grassroots fo no so ye fu soldiers no ebi nso omo so omunidi no omo nsere akokọ no omunya benwe emu no omunya binni anwa no omuntumi ntobi no omunya aduane ofie no omuyide no omuma nso eniye kakra emre ye ninka so papa ye bi a wo beye ne no ho ebebie kwan ama wo nana wo ma daachi bi enye nne ma mire bi we anim a ebeba no ebebie kwan ama obi Brenye mwaye wadwene se Dr. Omane Boama obe visite ne yere ye woja ne kire ene ne ma ne wakochia ne maame ana na oni na oni na kasa ahye wo mu nkura ya na woni aboaje abusuafo bedi nkomo Fosilab minister obeye no dodo oboase aboaje abusua Alaji ne mu na abusuafo hwan ene be mo ma smile coming this Christmas aye by 10 days time Dr. Samuel Sapo yere ne mba oka soja ni na wo mo eku no ewo danger is in the central region right Major Mahama Samokai no wana kai ne yere ne mba no wana kai ne yere ne mba Brenya na ebe obi ane ne yere ne mba bedi but nkofo bi wo ha ye no mo na start afini etwa ye ni a omane bo amade na ya me ya medwene ho amenti ase Dr. Samuel Sapo ni Mutala Muhammad mo medwene ho amenti ase o sa Dr. Omane bo ama ode ye we ne election ni woni ho appointment bebrebe nyina nya ono ene bie na ne na nke edi nkunuma akọ bie ni ho wa appointment minim de Omane ye wote ase ne minim de oye minimum command no ni medi ti imagine say 25th December obia ni age atifie no last year no Omane ne yere ne ma na edi o this year omunya that fatherly touch no ni wo biem ekọ forever and ever ti say enei eye adum bintina wo ga kati asefo no divine favor, divine selection account and now cut as if one humble yourself. Bro, what's it? Shamiko office of the president. Now me go right the executive secretary office. Now me right and Brazil kura air Dr. Kalisu Sumahama. Me aba Joyce Bauer. Now me and Brazil. A year the chief of staff Onumunyanfo Julius Sabra any in the office staff omu ye adwuma ewo ahobrase enko who were His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Fly ma melody na obeye wa too His Excellency John Dramani Mahama president of ahobrase manipa Hweninua Ibrahim Mahama Hweninua Hawa Mahama Mr. Fred Mahama Peter Mahama, Makiamo, Frankalo, Brahma Mahama, we shall marry the way Musi Bro Muhasi. Ibrahim Mahama, ya doya, one some or Nimsa way anyway be. Why ya doya, and a couple of Sirano. Na so bi wa opa 2 million woni nipa ne di na chi na obo anu ma ne nya 2 million woni 2 million wie ne san kofo no beso mo beba ni bim yense san yesu man bro nya ba nya adoye ye kai grassroots no ye kai radio stations awudo obi kakra bi aye ma omo na yam recognize some staffs bi say wo mu ya ade maybe a tremor na ya radio good maybe a tremor na ya hoto na ya akra ya class media ye kaka ye ho metrasi wo Ghana ha me to radio stations bebre mu ewa ha presenters ni bebre kwotena fie eni padodo sai ena kai ebi mu yen starting kai ho yen for telephone yen frefre ho na koye nkoja weekend wo kwa ma ne bo amade obi so beba wo de saa na tie ntu aye no kwa wo kojai sansa wo so de beba obi so beba wo de do beba wo de no so obi so beba ono so ne de ba ye tie ase de ne ye de aboa ye ho edi saye ne kwankonsa ne sekuro no dɔɔso wura office bi na akope favor akope o favor ne ja obi a okose na kyeresa apanyina akono ho nyame ne se hene manya wo se obaba ho asafo hene obi ansomo yes obi anyadan ansomo ne saka janu wa sidan na nkamini nie no ke be den wa mayo mampanyina on pen ho asem amayo mampanyina wo aho brase hwese ya wo eye 2024 mu ye 2025 mu enyamura 2026 na so afi atwato kora e wo bosumi mu emu apai ena 15th Economic Community of West African State eye ECOWAS unanimous sa amamai ebibimai awodu eye de West Africa hey atoyemu West Africa no yetumi akwa setena say unanimously woman endorse Excellency John Dramani Mahama say 2027 one be AU chair. Now, I'm not surprised. So say, you call Japan, you call PMO ewo Yokohama. From Tokyo to Yokohama. Now me who say, Excellency John Dramani Mahama, kakra bia, yes, co-chair, kakra bia co-chair, wane Angola wan, kakra bia co-chair, you be a your mama, would be a person in your Mahameshia. When him who say yes, Papa we. Die tia ama joma medino aji babia yesanya eye second nkroma e Ghana ne say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oko eye UN General Assembly no UN General Assembly ko so e America memu no recently and some oko kan no was shaking the foundation. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was shaking the foundation. Emma abibiman nyina wiase nyina we bia wo sa papa we wo ye Kwame Nkrumah wasan babim. O te Ghana how wonya aye another pramo the useless ones MPP for yi afanya markets mo no mo te Ghana how mo fa John Mahama enye hwe. Na debia me catch no say John Mahama na yenya no Nigeria for so say patch o say can for John Mahama ma o mo afi ba kope. That is the man you when no TV news screen so no Facebook live for 1979 TVS was it papa ni nie John Dramani Mahama sakwa kwatena fie nwotwe amanya me asafa na nyadan ama nkane ewu say papa yi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ya wo that TV so na wo for the foreign affairs minister my good brother honorable Samuel Okujo to abla kwada so yi kwa mabie mu a na ke nim say efie nwotwe a akufo adone ne kofo bese wo man wi no ye benya nyansani a wo fie nya sa wisdom peace asumdie adware no ahobrase adware no no watumi atene test around in 11 months. Amene Ghana yes economy no be stabilizing. Okoto ade na etina ne atom koto ade na I mean ne atom inflation now drop it to single digit. And inflation away. The persistent increase in the price of goods and services and away. It is about good leadership. Who a good leader will be BS here or mine D. Timamo for mine so no almost see opinion no more day. Omudi. She anya Ghana kwao. Say your mama baby your mama besi bia no. Ewiase nyina ye dan e na efre no. Yes, 2027. Ya endorse no. So may UN and what they say African Union chairman. ECOWAS for mind unanimously. When the papa na kan ho asem no. Amotiwa no tetem. No tetem. No tetem. No tetem. No tetem. Your mama so no uncle tetem. I saw no naka. Your mama na say uncle tetem. Now they say o si bo adwuma no. That's not do man ko no omo adwuma no say si next year. Ye be man ko aso meka say no tetem bi ma. Said your koye ATS yesu ya. Yesu ya ene akofa ne bae no. Ye ne na be sama na to aso. Demonstrations bi e de ba wo so Ghana ha no. Why na dey so onko bi ma. Hwe, muka se ba be di agoro. Constitution ni pa na twere 1992 constitution. Ye twa kufa ado mo no mo hin. Ye twa 1992 constitution o sa fuma afum no mo hin. Ko de bon kroma no hin. No ya how many years? No mo hin. Mu tata me de mama na aka ho. Enya ye Ghana fo. Your mama no ni vote ye ba ko pe. Ti mam fo 36 million e say wo ye pese wo kwa wo be ko. She wo de wo ja assembly ka say ba bia wo la vo na duro no anya wo na okasa ma ho se na se John Dramani mama Ghana for pese wo ti ase se wo kasa ma ho ECOWAS nyina ndo ase wo say African chair no ya fa ma AU chair ya fa ma 2027 na Ghana wo ye de ano ye nya ma wonko ye sa ma wonko na asamba bebre ya no for way mambo for way yet me tell mo sa me for my we bim kwata de akofo for kwa e be mo wako. The power belongs to the people, the masses. Umne to me ni yo modia constitution ni pa na twe yes sane mani yi enye Bible enye Holy Quran sa Bible do sa hwe mo yi constitution no me say entisa Bible ye amendment bia wo ma enye yi ba constitution we de ni pa na twe yitimi sesano emani yi na no enya se wo na obesa amanfo no so opese odi wo mo so matima amfo na kasa so se wunyu afrododo joma mai wunyu afrododo etia ma nkotra fie pese osan atoa so yes sane ebe yo ma melody na echa wa wie sane ebe Mugabe ne bigina MP eni mitiri musisi a NGS no call ene ba meko for now and come call NGS and ka hwe me yes ba be bia gina sisi a ne de wo mo kwatum no se bom no mo so sedi ba de na kama kuma say NGS na se me ka kire me se mo grassroots no mame bronyai empanifo bia wo ma hwe wo mo kwa yam visit wo mo families Adikuka Ambassador Sampiale Alhaji Sani Senior Kumase Dr. Samuel Sapon Kumase yeko sebusuafo no o mane bo ama ne yene ne ma waje o ma kire ensra o mo brenya ene o munni na nyefe se o banya safo yibu ne be enka na sam de anjes ne soma me sam meka no makan wie yes ne de me kanso ana maka de Mugabe aka no e de nyame pe na baba be ka no me nya de bia to say selfish me kama me ho no ba ni asoba for the 900 million angels yo ma bia mani se Mugabe kache o man kasache o my Ghana no me kasache o my Ghana me se o man bo ama ne yere ne ne mabro nya eno mu ni ye no man kra ne nye ma kasache na mo sure Jomama woni size of Africa woni size of Africa akufado baye ECOWAS wana na de bibi decisions anya papa nko a Jomama oso ono de onko tetem yeda se sanya wona ope wo de wo so wonko baye se wo ye na wudi so wo serve ye ye na wo som ye no ye mre ye se ye pewa wo beko kotobe ku ba ya kufa do MPP fu mambofo wi hia kai mu ye toiletu anka me wo metwi meto we mo hia kai eni se mo ba power oh iti na wase we kura power ni mu yi eni se mo ba power woni be hu kina ba wo na esi ho umni doni tema de mani pa be gu ni pa nwuma ama titufo ma bobra edo pempesuo bi no ya ma omu nyina no ma ba be da fom kama pe wu ya no ko titufo mu gu mu nwuma se omu nyuma Dr. Bakwesi ndomo mimi kasa da bia no se Ghana ni ya adwuma no tumi fra nipa ba ko mienu miensa san nipa no ye bo mo ikrokro mu ye ene hwe heba fui kakran obedu anu afa nurses no afa doctors bibire no mu nyina ye adwuma Bible ni se fa ni bra na haba no yadan ensa yare ene spices nko ani edi spices and then we yaba spices we yaba na de egu nkwan mu na nkwan ya pika na anyway de na aduane e do oboa nkwan so te the authority of head of six of ECOWAS have unanimously endorsed the candidature of President John Dramani Mahama as African Union chair. This comes after his foreign affairs minister earlier to their support behind him at Abuja. Let's watch and listen.
The authority has also decided to support Ghana's candidature for the chairmanship of the African Union for the year 2027.
Very well. Not just say somewhat. Oh, tia. So noted multi parliament MPP was a noted. Any person on petetem. Most of us say noted. Nadia anymore. The me bibia me se mesati bia me if you akoya we ya na meteso isi bibia me se mesati bia me wie momo papa we die just okaso wonko oni challenger okaso wonko dia onko but your mama de wa ye wo bosumi duba ko yimo de anhwa Ghana fo ntwe ma wo ted ne de obeko this constitution ni pa na twere is sani ma a check and answer kwa monya ne 5 years they say twebika ho well de makanwie some your mama ni ndc otiase afa ontiase na obeshepo akoshepo I don't care. And then Monday Pandai NDC Pandai Muntutu Muniemeye Pandai Muntutu Muniemeye NDC for the third time Pandai Muntutu Muniemeye Samo koso yititi ni yokoso bi o Pandai Muntie 3 akugan say omu ye muntie 2 memenka ho akugan na moten kan we deputy national communication officer of the NDC wana moten kan and ye Joada Monday the 15th of December 2025 edu Joada say ye meda ti Joada no NG Gabriel na nkasa ni bie kwanum ti wo say mekasa mekano boko but utia bo say emu ohye ye soma mi amebeka masem wi amakan wi say jo mama was one quarter term and the one aka but here if we a January hokono the aswabo for ni dan e ditch them no here demonstrations e be ha se call regions I would do say your mama pi won pi was sign ko biem no ni nyina ye mra say constitution ni pa na twere ye sesa ne mane ye enti no bibie ni ho ese ho kwan na ni nyina che say wo mo wudi wo mo so no mo nkase wo mo pew manyesa wona wode hye bi beto o mo so say che na me bese me san akobiem na mo nyuma pa na kasama wa te me mofo na be kasa papa yi ya ade wo kotene fi akoye de ahode wo mu o kotene fi akoye de koso a na koso onyame ba jo mahama ene Monday de Dr. Amponsa Dr. Kodwa Amponsa tenase ne doba pa ba konsu fi ha eye Desmond Desmond so brand who say papa aware you we chimu kwachi wo fi ha pa but aware ye nkopon ahira no Dr. Amponsa no akwa
me je so
na bomo ya
me ado Angel
wo friend me say
Angel
me ni aso abofo na ye adwuma me ye Mugabe Angel sin na so mu wantire
owo mu de wo ye
so abofo no meka ho
yeah
Angel no
yeah
why Angel
I don't think I'm so friend sir
Dr. Amponsa Avan ofia sanso na menu akwabra pra junior the Don oye century ni broadcast journalist ono so mo betene kan ene wo show no why Angel
etoda na nyame kasa kire nipa so obi hu na wa hu yi a said ya wotie no ena ya obeka ho asem I say enye nipa nyina na etumu ye ne ya wo yi
mpa
ha nti se enye Angel no na betena mu a untumi wa akra bebu hu enti ne ya utumu ka no eno ene use Angel no ma wo sanity
ewe de na wo mayo
me da se bebi me chia ahwefo nyina ne atiefo ene program no said ye Mugabe kan na ye ko smooth boko sabio akwala to ho ene di mo mo share program no ene mo nwe maso na mo ntie sabia e kono no eno ano no me pese me ka bibi kakra kirew ene se ye wo yare bi wo ho ye freno sciatica ene mechiro mu yi kakra pa
sciatica yare abaye pa bia kra me tumudwe ho se kane na sciatica na eye mpanimfo ena de sciatica wo muhwe sciatica tbuche mrantie ne mabawa sciatica no kra no opa kire sen so eya jumade dia nanka kane no no mu ya jumade sine nei ya ena obi tini fie kra na oye na juma kane entesa eniti na adwumade wo na nantie wo ho mo esene ne nanso sciatica ate atese na mahwa hunu se yare bia ye frɛ no arthritis sa entirimu yare no eno ene kofa sa sciatica yi ede ba yie pa na wo hwe obi a obi kura to boba for sciatica no wo be se 21 years medwe hu amenti ase wo ba hwe so no na sciatica na ache ne 19 eno di sa wo sa yare a ye fra na sciatica Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital mabasa me ba beboa wo na masa yare entini no abobopo emoja nkomu yi eno nti kuro abam tie mi ye pa oni padua no se ebia awase moja efri akwa na se entumu nko yi a entini no kuro bebam ebasa obeti pens pa bibia mo umbo form ade bi mbo wonsa ade bi mbo wonan ade bi mbo wachika sai nanso wote pens ankasa mimi a wohwe me bomoden na brass printers Coastal Junction udu wabusa taxi station na wono say o re Dr. Amponsa o modo beba taxi for no abeje 20 cedis na o modo waba onso a winning sprinters ana se wo obi abefa uba na se yango ne ne keka ho no enu an se o beba Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital edo beba street eti mu amu hweme ne ene mu amu tie me radio so nyina no ye was sprinters Coastal Junction brana me mu awo na me nsa yare eno ena eka ho kese a mede magic machine ebaaye because se sciatica de yew na se wonan no ntini no maja no nkomma na se ekura bamu a ya do to magic machine so anase ukoda magic machine no mu a achepa 40 minutes na pence no nyina ayira sana tie eba sa ye be ma okura duro ekum kuro no a ewo ho no a one problem bi ye won krofo bi ho a omonan no ase no eye tse de a watia nsuom anase nsuo gu ne nam obi so anenan no mu no eye no tse de a watia atechem anase fufuo tare ne nam ye fa no gout sa gout we starting from okotodwe na ko wonan no down na ahwehwemu amia kasama ya hu ne say answer na abenya sa gout we enipo bebre de no eya na starting from say kidney no emfanshin yi say kidney no emfanshin yi a acid na e was kidney no e de ma obrada no ni nyina entumo nko ho enti nsuo no bi ko nanse enti e basa na ama onanse ahoro anase asuale na wakaso menanse tai kidney no na ho de wo fom e na ama acid akọ nanse enti wo ba ya baboa wo na ya sa yare na ho ato kama magic machine no medicine na ba e na bronya we ya discount 25%. enti bo mo hweme nyina no momra na ye mamo discount kama na fe yansa yare obi tie me na wo se doctor me de me ho me hu se me yam ewo me minua ade eta yesa pa e friend typhoid fever but typhoid ne yewa enye oyam no nko na be yewo eto da ba se uti pa wo ho na okon agere wachika se ta yewo ya omfe eta wo uyam ebubom wani so chinu uyo hu se eto da yewo se ubehu ade be chinu na ate ho uwi enkum nipa sa na mmome ha nipa eti sa wote sa typhoid ne symptoms ebi no eto da na wanya constipation ayamtim eto da so na ayese enye ayamti na oyam atim oyam ahwe kakra saa na tie na enua agyae typhoid no ni nyuma bi no typhoid ye no wan panhwa ebemo hepatitis B so when hepatitis B symptoms be kire osa wo bo o chest no mu eye wo ya eno so mayafu yare pa ese ma wachi kasa ye wo ya na eye yare a na bia control eye satwetwomu na feel okay woni padua no sade eye no e kire wo e ma se si ya make hu se e wo sentema obeye test ye ho lab bia bi wo ho ye ho machines ya ye de diagnose ni panso wo ho ene ye wo magic machine esa ni pa yare eno de eye immediately ene be ma wo problem no akofom saa na tie obi wan nsane na ya titiri stroke chinu ani minua wo ko magic machine just 40 minutes stroke no eturo nche oda wo stroke wachi wo dadam no eye wo ntiri no ena mu asisi ena moja no emfuro yiye ena ho no awu bra na ye nkolete ho cells no na moja nsate penalty nko onyina na fe stroke yare no emfiri nipa no so na onya na sondwie ena mani abre bronya we me say me ye discount 25%. Mo beba magic machine nyina discount 25%. Magic machine no ya woketo a on ya wokese ti se osika nso kese na obetumi akoketo ado so nya na eyisu dada no eho era mo nso amohwe me ne obi wo ha ni problem no ya ne nkasa bu ni no mpemu nyina ya ne ya ono hu se wo bre nanso wotifie hwe wo yare na atifie dia na pese owu kwa na wo nri nso bewu saa na tie enti ampanivo se wo do yare asia ubasa oto yare a unya ho aduru saa na tie Dr. Mponsa Herbal Hospital eniema kane na yentumu nya no ene ye no simple because of machines no abeboa yen ama ne ayaresa no aye simple obi tie me na ose me wo burning sensation me wo hyehye me hu dwan me hwe me nua wo hwa me na wo ba eye one day a wo hyehye no nyina begyae me ma yare sabre ho no enya wugidie na ebe sa yare na aka sa ode wonyi machine di wugidie wonyi ni oniemhia na o mae menya wugidie na ebe sa yare aka me yahwe so wo fie no wugidie nka ho atɔ ye de adubia hyetim ama abetu ya sintidua ama ene prayen kuyen masa tugidie no twere ba bi mabra manoma bibiduro saa me yare no nkɔ manoma brafuduro saa me yare no nkɔ sese dia kura de me gya me ho yare no nku nanso obetetew ba bi awote no ene nti me ka kyerɛ wo se entrafie nkasa yare no ɔhaw bra na nade nyankopon ya adom ama wo yare no na no aduru aba obi wo se doctor mi wo infection mi wo gonorrhea syphilis ne ne keka wo yesa infections wo yo ba na wo yo bi a white how awo ho asem white infection no etumi si ma wo kwai pa nyankopo ado ye o machines a ye de ye washing papa ye de twi infections ni nyina mamo kama na ho atɔ wo hia wo petrin scrabra na ye be ya ma simple kare na ni bie ma no ena ne ye fa bibia serious ena ni bia ba ama awo aye simple kra mina na wo ne last born no 65 years na mina na nyina nya 60 mina na ba o no 65 years na last born no wo no na na mfi a wanya no ma me no mina na ba o mako 17 ba ko pena ne nsanka ba ko pena ne nsanka 60 nyina na omote ase a me na nano no saa na nano na tete me eba na bibiduo mu a wa ben pa enti awu aduro de me ma so ya bibiketu wa bi enti wo a wo hwe me na mo a mo diabetes ase kire yare a motifie no me nkire wo se diabetes ye na o nom diabetes aduro anko ye tofu a ye tie kakra papa hwe bra wo sate yare diabetes ase kire yare nye ne ebekwa nkeko se wo yare ase kire yare a eji kwaleto pancreas se pancreas no wan tono a ase kire yare no nkwa na nyina obema na ayemre no yase kire yare nuro na wo fa do Asichire ya me na nkasa be ma obe ma ho oden akofom enuro no so a wo fa ne side effect ne se wa ho oden e wo mpam e be kofom nti ube ma no wu ade be wu ma me mo number no ube fre 027 85 99611 027 85 99611 we ya me bo ama we eye WhatsApp esa ye calling number ofra men kan won sem wo phone so je direction na be hu me tieniye men kan won sem na wo phone so je direction na be hu me wate bombadi ana fre eye calling number sa ye WhatsApp no dia ya ye voice message mame metikam kura mitumutie e reply simple enunti Obafre and 0243 11 08 75 0243 11 08 75 Bebre fra osin Dr. Memfa Samra Hospital Yanko Hospital sa and the mesro minya sure say okokwalebu abebisa say yem ma amount hospital yenye sa bra na behumi yankasa na metrase adapai Mugabe uma obi ba ho eba magic machine oba os wa freze ye man price we for so that means onko bisa Mugabe say adatie wa ma ozo chirero na nti ba hwe na kama pa ne ansa na meba enti mo hwe me ya
se Mugabe na se memra
mo hwe me ni nyina no me promise mo say mo dia na mo mra specters Kumasi ya obi wo but magic machine kasiya no bi ni ho ketuwa no bi na ho kasiya no ne ketuwa no nyina bi ho na kasiya no so afa na me be kwa akoma obi me hwe se bi kura January ye ko no metunu ama Ashanti region nyina na Western region nyina ene bono nyina omo aba Ashanti region aba sa magic machine kasiya no na mo amu krampatam nyina mo amu Central region any voter region Eastern region munyina mumra class penters na yemoamo yensa yawe entreview nkasa wawie uwi hwe akoma na ada wo mu no ye do ko magic machine esa ye na fufuro e soprano moja quality e ma wakoma ne ahoden ye fredi bi olance e wo ha brebo na e wo soro no eno ne boa ma ohuniye sa wodi ene yare a ohome soro brana ye mo na ye nsa yare asobeti asemo na ye kakra bi etoda ye be kasasa bateme Mugabe program no ye me mpese metwa so ache eniti mesra wo say ba bibiara wo hye no ba made na bra Spintex Coastal Junction uduwa bisa taxi for so we Dr. Amponsa sa wodi mu ba nso a ba Dr. Amponsa he ba hospital mane mo number no na asobeti asemo na ye kakra bi 0243 11 08 75 0243 11 08 75 and 027 85 99 611 027 85 99611 so fresh alliance we are on Sabeka Dr. Amponsa Heba Hospital.
Well, can you answer me? That's an investment show. Well, better Dr. Amponsa say, Madam who's met you Munafe by a baby soon Kunyania Burum and there Quabna Junior or no a fireman to say the Metia me Kaja Gumia Anna Avan a Yete innocent or no see the more minimum. Habesh Yabasisia.
Let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to a butler who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my boxing.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. It's a beautiful place you have visited.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Hi, I'm pleased to introduce to you Cancer Mixture, a herbal mixture for arthritic pain.
Cancer Mixture,
arthritis. Cancer mixture. Obey Juma when you put it inside. I'm a pace in the grand. And if you did dinner, men on your market for your button, I want one menu. First, baby, I'm from one Sanka. Singing Susan, Boliviara, who doctor, and I report for FDA next safety up no door.
And Katui, FDA, up no door.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your world's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there! We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 Ga West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also ya titi be benfie na so ne yam nyono da se me cho no ahodo amato a me hunu hwea ebe ya nwama
menye ni se what also tamfo hexa capsules any hexa mixture ya no mbom kotia also no bia ma no anum anka no what no dadaada also dro de eno any hexa capsules any hexa mixture
ankom ni nchiremu
also ye kura eto ye funu ene ensunu mu etina wo ye funu ekeka wa wo je ho a enyi also etumi ema wo ye cheko ebe a wedidi awie so how eye also there compare hexa capsules any hexa mixture nanum bom na ho abeto
pedidua to a ko okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takradi AM Mensa Anafre 02038228855 Approve about Tanya Wama on more from for any more from when you feed you know and come Haxa capsules any the mixture
also time for FDA aje egadi nkratwe atulo
brebo eye adwumada ebwa eyam aduane ebwa eyi insa free ni peduani na ebwa woni pedua ma etena ho yi nanso woni say niema a yedi na ye no timi ma brebo ye adwumaden simpote Nehuda the brebo ye adwuma pa ebia se se bintu ye bibi bo am brebo
Ani and Newton what the left from the Moses Clinic we have our center about herbal food supplements. What's it? The barber ama a ye juma ye.
Juma.
Fatopa yeni anopa ni enyumre na eboa ma obrebo ye dwuma yi sene ebeya ebetimi anyam aduane awodi esiesie ni peduane mo enyi mo finsi yi
eno na me brebo ki apa Obenya Life Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, and supermarkets are able. Sawopa to doors way to up. 7244 068447. Life Kid, one with bread war, one with Nipedia. A do ye any mapping for a ma emma or man for, name of 4 hours 1 year in few doing. FDA GBD crack to ye at 2.
If you cry, no minisika, etia ye me free.
For pa na menya bosia edia tre medjuma yimu
kan kra mapre menya bosia ato taxi fufu Suhum Rural Bank
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia epoko bosia susu account eni daso wo ho savings account me bada chain savings account ene de keka ho Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896 na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una
Suhum Rural Bank enti mepa minie
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Esama kwaba edeba TVS was etana power 97.9 FM na edwada ye December bosomene de to so edinum e won fimpimienu eni eduonu enum bejafo atnase be hwe ne digest issues ahodo ni nyina ewo eye adwumadie so de ama eye o my Ghana helpful ene yen etifo meni akwabna pra junior ewo ha oyen century on kase ensantre adwuma na bo adwuma na kofe be mfie be yaduasa ewo mu agese amanyo same de wakodare mu yie papa wo ha agbesi segbafi ayachia mommo adwuma se wo burunya ebe January na be di birthday se ya tra na ntwe ewie agbesi segbafi ase ya tra na ntwe ewie nti wo de yachia ewie a wo yesi wonti asem ne be di ni separate Gwabra Munia
Mugabe Mijoso
Apomosie
Adumia
o teacher
me da so pa
ebusan for what is
o nyame adum bibia boko
bade na se
bibia boko
looking good
as usual
Kwabna Prajun
same as you
the dawn
Mugabe Maase say nyawan come into me now
hey Kwabna
him say for the past 6 months you know say I've been off air
yeah
both radio and on TV now
fantastic
because of the relationship that me no term no o friend na me ntimi popumiti na say me na this invitation because no ma imagine senka me twa fe no now hopefully in January
so me person me do new year
oh amen good oh na nka here you new year together but when your call came me just say me ntimi popumiti na honestly so my fear for
fantastic
yeah until no say etimi ba na ye ni amanfo so be chensam ne kakra because a lot has gone down you know under the carpet and even up the carpets
fantastic
yeah in the year 2025 and oh nyabo say me sha say internet say ba na ye ni adofo so be chen oh yeah beautiful I mean say TVXYZ television station Power FM you know even the name itself Power FM no tells you what's available here you know there a woman no and you become a team for any adofo ate
fantastic
me that's so afraid me am so let me aba I mean sure
mama I advance in sentence so
akwaba political analyst can you get more
Mugabe Mejoso
bibia bako de
na me adom ehia ya che
ote dan pare nka che
say odi police woni dem
odi police no he
e woni dem
one aka say eye no ahoma no ye de tu ya beti ye fans wa nyesa fantastic bibia bako de
o nyame adoma ho de ho pa
offense dware o
na bende se mesua wo
kakra
na dey na course mo na mo social media TikTok ni ade bibi trend ya na
I think that Mugabe ma menchia na menchia bebraya share menchia wati for me ba ha che ya na ne wano dosu nti na ya no mo dia che but I had a fie ha fie when the wanya ne sai nyeye yes ya ba dia ba fie I think that it's very important say ye guswa ye cancer mean we need to also set the record straight because Mugabe the whole idea ye some fast one say nipa betem ne ma say na say we make subsequent political decision choices bia na you be informed based on accurate information ne ma asi like odu ba bi na say nipa bi share adwo so be share to nsema gun from just to deceive people. I'm not sure say politics, you know, that is where we are. Politics na ya adwuma 1992 by Ghana for any BA they want to do factual politics in as for there is this thing I know na soldier ni be frame you're very much worried about what could we never be on social media na dey say Ghana soldier for no call UN no or more say aban UN sika kese mo but aban fa say sika ni nyina do no wa fa keto abi da mo see some of this information are very sensitive and this are what kind of one can you may end up inciting the soldiers against authority or the state and then you now also threaten the infrastructure of democracy na you seek to build so such misinformation as say you shutting it down sabi people among for who say UN Jessica Buma soldier for mo call UN mission and aban fa
message
exactly and some of these things and sorry sir buy me sorry or say musika mafadi doesn't work like that say that here say see am no ka say you and operations in as for you and ankasa wa challenge America na now the biggest financier of UN
Bush person or withdraw and
exactly
funding
yes US na finance afibia 1 billion your friend say dollar and on the kokoshim Donald Trump by no or say American first policy and introduce and for that particular reason or withdraw on the sikana kakra so instead of 1 billion last year he gave about $680 million instead of the usual way so you and Nankasa on the challenge I drop it and it is over here almost standing we are from Moba it's around 52 to your friends 50,000 soldiers or more reduced by 25% or more 14,000 and it's a one I'm going to say more call we no blue bafia and Ghana by the blue bafia and you and because of budget constraints what cut it down some of the soldiers what I say about more coffee anti so we are no free man
they say Trump raising up
exactly because his back and forth on the geopolitical arena and why was be a winning the back and forth with the UN of which American kwana best why the sikadia more and other financiers like China, Japan, France or musikana more about the US is virtually financing everything and Ghana soldier for UN no Senate Ghana or that long-standing your friends say we are the soldier for the whole world. It will interest you to know say Ghana had the 10th country had the more personnel echo for UN. Yes, and that has been there. But this is what UN does. They every day beyond Ghana for soldier for no, they pay them $46 a day. Ya only soldier ni na call UN operational. Ya amount $46 a day. Side your market so $46 no. Never say 30 days. All the time say ubenya averagely $1,300 to $1,400. That is what UN pays to Ghana soldiers. Now Ghana buy say 46 I am paying every soldier per day $35. So 46, Ghana buying tia, so almost is like almost close to 80% of the money.
So we can travel arrange.
Yes. And one year with $11 actually. Say $11, I buy the average $700 extra ticket now. I'm wakwaba. Answer abako UN operation. Ya loko baby control for 2 weeks. And then we did the near money I buy it here. So Ghana buy will have to find extra cash to support so it's totally your fans and of craze out of so from where I incite so that for against your friends in the state because and yes it's very dangerous because you see some of these things your security is very very important and some of the young people in army cannot turn a dreamer and I never be a coup you don't need a reason to do a coup because a care of Russia so I think that is very very important say you have the sensible but for you and going forward maybe $46 no credible mint because Donald Trump no you the sika nyina free me you and Tom Banks on Tom board there yes and you and some Tom Banks on Tom board there what I say Mugabe your friend say you and nigga on Tom board there on Tom Banks when you so da kwa kutua say sika na member state de ba no e na ode minima enti when your budget controllers are there make cut it down nipa na bi nko na ebi ma ti so bi kwa
to mo control kan so mo ni so mo so beja
so mo de omo jalo mo kwa ko de dia and again I think that there is also another important thing I have to clear because na say me who adebi anam social media brand TV say on the wira hopa na say John Mahama tam 10 billion e de akwa kwahye your friend say e sobe up the city na sa sika no nke betimi ade aye yeah, there's a 24-hour economy. Now, this modern day, a journalist will sit on radio and advertise such sheer ignorance. It's very embarrassing. And no one tells you for a colleague. Na bisado say ade we menti asese na city e Mugabe yakasa aban de sika e ba be shovel up dollar na asefo a enye say aban akota we bisika na sika na de be ya to bi na ira. It doesn't happen like that. And that is a long standing your friends say monetary intervention we uko America there is something called standing swapping line with other countries who say US no try dollar but on to he doesn't need any dollar reserve na but country outside US no holding the biggest your friends say reserve China. That is about $3.4 trillion. And this is what they does. So I'm person musically is stable. Then because of they have that direct line with America, no, only release sika dollar at the moment, not with our system just to take care of the stress. It is a long standing practice. But Ghana higher than say abai edisika back. About the same $1 now broswa. The challenge is say one tree about no reserves. That is a challenge. But IMF when I know your typical instructions say at least you can import cover 3 months there so now. So say we know say Ghana ISCD that import cover. And it means that there is enough reserve because of gold board. And other monies are coming. So government has that particular money in excess. And Sikano government and the Sikano so that commercial banks will have access to dollar. The Ghana government will take back the CD. And Abasana, you also mops the SSCD in the system. I take care of inflation. And I also inflation is 6.3%. And I don't want to see a non TV, so radio, so advertise ignorance. Now, yes, because as it's just government exchanging the dollar for CD. Ebe masa we na yes stable. So you can say abind the sika be she we ma. And yes sika na yira ana say nke de you betim na yard for sika nya nko ba bia ya kasa sika. But just say government want to make dollar available to commercial banks. Obi be there any trade in as for no ebe ya available. And when it happens so because the only time my dollar ebo kosoro, then when people want the dollar and they are not getting it. And then the man will never. But when it is in the system, the banks have access to some of these monies. I don't think that is a problem. And it's a challenge.
Initial comment. Okay. Kakra na fe ni yanko to the main issues. No, you better AU chairmanship. Who is ECOWAS unanimously or more endorse His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say 2027 or non-co general and more asani eba no so no over the weekend you may be in the course so don't maybe I will do initial
maybe I'm saying I can say about patriotism and they need to also show recognition because honestly I'm saying now you also thinking say Ejuma my internet say I buy it more money come. I'm sure in the relationship I know many doctors and what's up on term. Fantastic. Now in the region. You understand very formidable. Now and they are NDC why I call Ashanti region is because of
Alaji Sani Soko.
Alaji Sani Senior Soko, over the weekend. Didn't you know? I mean some of the information I you begin to wonder say party is it really on course to say obey to me I sustain any gains now because if you want to sustain your gains the grassroots any team supporters now omodo buy and the more you look at them well and then the bema when the motivation and the support for another election
10 days to Christmas
you understand 10 days to Christmas and it's very important say party ni betumi amana ni akọ ni base ni so na enko say after an election you mentioned gold board okowa me na mate bad me nyango so the line and queue over a month for copper man is doing very at times you begin to wonder say Now, why should it be so? And you know, that's the more reason why this 24-hour economy, you know, some of us, you feel say it's a bare reality. Because a job creation bar, and no, a bet say a year, sir, a mebuna, omo atuatisa, no ma pitanaso, obia benya baby to feed. And they are some of the unemployed groups. I shall say our agitations near Dinano is because they feel say or Martin Fiache. And you know that 24-hour economy no should be a major focal point for this government because I buy it me easy and no never buano I'm office our pressure now eba appointees so eba or mine so with unemployment in a swati. It is our call me there as a Ukosujina Swati the year ends.
Security concerns
a major security threat. A major security threat because where Sri Lanka, you see Sri Lanka, yeah. You know, it was just unemployment. Youth felt say or maximum and at times do you look at it, the lavish lifestyle of some of the politicians are and no so a shank also. It is not a politician now in your appointment. Try to still keep your low. And when you are now for no your Game Boy when you scan a wolf, maybe a person of flaunt, scanning my mouth for a town. Fantastic. No, an appointee with daily livelihood or lifestyle, and I'm out for share to see, say, you know, they can, you know, learn something from it. No, about buying this, but I appointee. Now you also want to flaunt your luxury no on people and none of my buying no bad time more. Fantastic. And to know it is very important. Then again, the issue I now raised about Lumba there no. Also yes also no a bit into the creative arts and now earlier on I was saying I buy the crown and adopt Lumba a year as a state funeral. So I buy a state funeral new year. Now if your family now can litigate the properties near the fair enough. Because
for assistance.
Because I buy a state funeral. Donations be a baby will split it evenly among the families. It be a first wife, second wife, and not even the children. Hence, it's all properties be able litigate our court. I know your mom lie, but the only man here, no. Honestly, I take away the shine. Any munyama number benya because only a Ghana's Michael Jackson. It is also a year no from day one or 2 year any whole confusion about the amount for year the goon who fee the busiane so ye adini nana. It has honestly taken away the shine from the the ceremony. And tinka a teacher ni nintine sen ko moko na omutumi ye hye na we're missing out of the ceremony. And I'm believing say we no so be a better hama going forward no na ye beja ye chie because wow can say you need that nipa beto. And as nipa to so ana ya sheda ye bibi asif so ene ye nesua hunu bi de asie de ye adisua kese de mayen week 1 week here we free home. Even look at the fallen heroes, the 8 heroes here and you know how sorrowful the nation got. Arahu two or mine ni adimina no. Ask yourself say after some few months after our burial no you see bibi from as a nation. Even when it comes to safety methods and safety approach you see bibi from what have we learned out of this? Yes, I can another tragedy near the another talk shop until this the timer. The moment an incident measures in place. We put stringent measures in place. Lessons I see has to be laid out. But just a ceremony. Then it becomes a fashion for us. You feel so anytime, any day, and I'm believing going forward, and finally I would like to drop on JMN Abasubono Kojiwo Yoruba Hinenhonu. Also politicians say your mom honest academic honest and academic titles are at times they are not for ensure and recognizes her, but when the honor is coming from a traditional authority among for sumu in high esteem. And one of such honest any the JM Kojiwo Yoruba Hinenhonu. Now only can be about John Mahama and the attributes said you see Sifa even in opposition and also in power. And for us in Ghana here, we see a better testimony of our leaders are. You share the abundance so for comfort. Because at times you might not see the clearer picture. You feel so good. But at times when you go outside and you hear the abundance so for the comfort and then I share how people perceive and see us in our ways. And on any can be about time a JMO position. Now even a person obey no any assassin any even obey power any adinano. And for me that's where we have to look at. Now you are more ECOWAS. They've also endorsed him again. Say Onuna
the president, you know, access to him.
Of course, now one appointee, you know, very sad. And you know, I'm thinking, say we have to look at external factors. A comment Ghana. Nebo minor basso, especially leadership. Say you share no from that angle. Yeah, if you know, Ebeka Yakuma, I'm a fino, ye be any because say yeah, who ni na bontin so fu who ni ya. Abontin so babe fakwa. Yeah, if you ni bedam pan.
We just said yeah, bit me see was for beko yeah, mokwa kusi nkonya. Na amama odo be ye dun say nyina na Ebeka say John Mahama any person will
say now no, okay ECOWAS sub-region now. Almost half of the member states, you know, are being ruled by military rulers. Yeah. In Tibega say a non-democratic. Half
Mali,
you understand, Niger, you know, Guinea and others. You know, so say no, the back no has now fallen on country and the democratic credentials, no, are top notch. Yeah. And Ghana since 1992, the democracy when you tainted. You understand? Any military intervention, upheaval, or takeover. And so they look at those credentials.
Fantastic.
One government handing over to another government, a smooth transition of power. Yeah. Since 1992,
irrespective of the noise in any
and all that. Even say and Tokwabeba, yana. You know, casualties are very minimal. Yeah. Unlike other countries. Yeah. Even Senegal for a transition from one democratically elected government to another, no, they lost over 100 lives. Cote d'Ivoire recently, they lost over 200 lives. And so they look at all those things. And as Adenis was also rotational. And to from the rotational point now, Ghana, it deserves to be the chair.
Okay. And
I face no JM in high authority. Say or no stand out among the peers.
Yes.
We have somebody like Nigeria, Tinubu for instance, age has caught up with him. Yeah. The energy to even steer a populous country like Nigeria no is missing. But all of it is a JM and the drive, the energy, the zeal, the charisma, everything about him no is something that Africa needs now. And that's what Africa is now lacking in terms of our leadership no. And if you have a leader or you're that firm and stronger, the thing can say such a person, no, he's learned a lot whilst at backstage.
Yeah.
Into us, just like me. For the past 6 months, I've been off air.
Yes.
Steady. Into Mesaba back on air, no. I'm coming with some renewed energy. Fantastic. And some sense of, you know, aggression here. I'm hungry for power.
What is it?
You understand the hand? Such a character is His Excellency the President. And I'm not surprised that almost 2027 on chair AU and from ECOWAS to AU large.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping and praying. Say JM ECO AU obet me spearhead Africa. Your unity ni ye, they na Gaddafi pe, yeah, amen. They na Kwame Nkrumah pe, amen. They na Haile Selassie pe, amen. Patrice Lumumba pe, amen. Mandela pe, amen. Mugabe mumine pe, amen. This is the new Africa, a reset of Africa. Because honestly, so if we have leaders, I'm stand on their grounds. And how much Africa is worth in terms of resources. So if you are to match Europe or any of the blocks, whether Asia, whether Europe, or whether America, or even the Arab world, you mean you're worth. We will stand on our grounds. The African our continental unity.
Yeah.
So if you're able to unite in terms of our resources, we break boundaries and barriers. Now, we are able to trade freely amongst ourselves. Now, it will multiply against us. We can stand on our grounds. This is Africa here, technology.
Fantastic.
When you're able to advance in terms of technology, yes, you're able to stand toe to toe with the Western world. And maybe a challenge now. Where are we pushing our resources to? We are mining, we are extracting a lot of resources from the soil and from the sea. But they develop your continent. So we have new leaders try to stand on their grounds, like this Burkina guy, Traore, even though he's a military leader, all the kind of transformation, energy or the bahona. you know, among for teacher the man, same as John Mahama of Ghana. And we are just open and praying, say, going to the African Union, no, it's a bigger stage. Now, on Concord, Ghana, and in first, on the Africa, and in Nafi, you showcase what the world, Africa has to offer the world.
John, my miss away. Yes, I mean, recently, a year in your course, United Nations, statement or make you honor. And now, a year leaders or more equals, or more sorry, say, Papa Win was a man, a corner, or AU chair.
Yeah, and no could be part because I'll say, words carry a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, the more Ubet me espouse a lot of positive things, words, people will also want to give you that power. Yes, yes, action speaks louder than words. That's one thing. But you know, your words are now going ahead of your actions. So if you are giving us the words, give us your actions. And I'm hoping and praying, say, United Nations is a platformer, and mind you, most presidents have speech writers.
Yes.
You can be the best speech reader, but you'll be now or backyard enye. We are looking at the words our coca and some our can. Would they put Africa there? Would they stand on your grounds? Now, if you are back home, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Recently, you know this diplomatic row with Israel over diplomats the foreign affairs minister. You could see, say, we were standing on our ground, say, as a sovereign state, you know, or maybe to me in TTI. So no matter how big you are. And you know, these are some of the things. That was a powerful speech of United Nations. And for John Mahama, somebody who is a communicator and a media person there, when it comes to Eritrea, you can't falter him.
Okay.
You know, he's always top notch. On him, the all can say on him how to, you know, break the ice.
The game.
You know, he understands the game.
You
understand him, you know, Anna Wasa Kubida. He's a diplomat, and he knows his acts. And you don't expect him to falter at such a bigger stage. And I'm happy to say he delivers such a powerful statement. I mean, I'm a Ghana, you know, a watch for the world. So it will be a person who says, so that's the president of Ghana. Where is Ghana on the map? Which part of Africa? Yenko Ghana to do business, to go see Ghana. Opportunities available.
Gateway to Africa.
Gateway to Africa. Yeah, the reset agenda is still on, and nobody can take that away. And I'm happy say reset no Nyema Bibre. The amount for her pan is a bit to corruption as NDC by Omukan. Nafi no Yehu say we are consolidating our gains for the future, and for me, that's what we have to do.
In office, how would you assess his performance so far, achievement in terms of achievements?
Honestly, I'll score him 75%
out of 100.
Out of 100. If I score you 75%, let us what perform because any money be a catching, but intina. Former President Kufuor Khan, a time back thinker, you review our constitution, you even the political term. So even if we are going to make it one term, which is 7 years, you have enough time to develop the country.
Fantastic.
Honestly, so if you have a 7-year mandate, maybe our first year, no, what power, what the best appointments, what the best sort of man for near day, I feel now, we'll go into the books after transition.
Second year, I'll be soon now.
Second year, I'll be soon now, so because I know 2026 is going to be action year.
Fantastic.
Projects are, ya cut soda, buying a person, 2026. You know, that express road, fantastic project.
Who did you say, Beba?
No, I said, now my dear, no, we in a Kumase. Me a programmer MPP for Etata me crying for roads consistently for 8 months. Now I spread out reporters to all the deplorable roads.
Fantastic.
And they were giving us feedback on my morning show.
They're done.
Crying for roads. It's a record in the region. That time MPP was in power. Mayors our project, no almost the NDC for men scan and metata buy or so. And you say, oh, Kumasi, I am the perception. He said, you can't speak against the ruling party, which is NPP.
Yes.
But I stood my ground to say, some more buying the was so there. Regional, we develop region in Yakono.
Why, so?
Oh, and you know, say, JM, it's me, Abosa Express Road in the so. Now, a non crown, who to MPP for so say, if that project lives to see timer, a bit me more unpopular there. Who am I? Mugabe?
Fantastic.
Who am I? The government just needs to shine its face.
Fantastic.
On all those infrastructure, no.
Okay.
It's me a pet. Ubons are free. Nebema region. Now it's more of a swing. It's becoming, you know, a divided region now.
Very well.
MPP for Jinafa, NDC for Jinafa. It's like going down for a 50-50 fight.
Okay.
And they have to know what's ahead. Now, I'm consolidate all those gains. Send a bear, a binum, a to me, a pager, a region, and a stronghold. Now, so I'm to me as our project, you know. Almost me at the 24-hour economy, no. Almost me employ
women banking.
They say no. I mean, scan you try to hold that the entire day, so. But maybe focal point power now, no. It's with the unemployed youth now. Oh yes, I JM my interview twice.
Okay.
My interview JM twice. That's time by election, no.
Okay.
That's a number of Fox FM.
Okay.
Ono ba oni ya mwapo nkone
2008
muho yako time by election ono ambassador Hineje Kunni ya mwapo nko omo betina menin on one side sa program so na mama party besu ye no omo besu pa massive watchow so omo ni omo ndi ye omo nto aba mo omo any ade no mama party was on that show Kwesiche was on it and afi former foreign affairs minister no bo Akwesi Oseji.
Okay.
3 here, 3 there.
Yeah,
and you know, and I'm a bar Cry FM, so I hosted him. Okay. That was in 2020.
Okay.
You know, you know, many one-on-one with him paying. Now I know the persona, meaning say Orobia or Brennan Wasina or say and now the information you hear from some of the NDC appointees, they say GMD now he's a change person, Charlie Papano, O Kasano Watkins and Nia Bray, they all see Yen and Yamano. And Nadia will be able to me off, and then I asked them, "Would you do?" I'm saying, "Charlie, see a corner, and you could see say he's a change person. Now, let me focus now, and you know, say obey, leave a legacy." And I'm like, "Wow, that's how leaders are born."
Very well.
You know, so to me, as now, his name is going to, you know, be in our annals forever. Yeah, it's a legacy for him. Fantastic. We are all praying and hoping, say, things will change for the better. Not Ghana to me from
very well. Thanks so much, my very good brother, Kwabra Junior, the Dawn. Live on TV SYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. You know, a Avanche innocent and so at Nasa Mamiko, so on a fee, young Fadi Akani. So, Avan, over to you.
Yeah, Mugabe, I think that on ECOWAS, Nina Ahenji on current development in West Africa and Africa at large. And I think Obia are very much concerned about Africa's development. To be a here, the state of play, you'll be very much concerned because Obada sorry and Yasiku Asiwo Guinea, Adiachi Ku Asiwo Burkina Faso, Ku Asiwo Togo. When these news spring up, I communicated one thing. A choice the fate Africans our democratic institutions in Nihobium because around that a man for who democracy is just young to abandon Yansa bang the Akani my way and I think over the years all have fast use political power to abuse this democratic system no as for no ma e can be and a man for a lose trust and confidence and Ghana I bet him the example and Ghana for na sebi mature in terms of democracy and near my mom for you coup around us in Ghana you came under the previous administration the government became so belligerent intransigent as or the castle will obey we are dying and run obey the government was not ready to listen to anybody and to say near my way the mom for lose faith in democracy and so around that a lot of some of these things are happening because of Sanyama way and it is very important we must begin to look at these things over the years na yen turn the narrative sebaya once again the African will get that particular hope and that last we say eto there I can rely on these institutions, these structures. I will be to me our fire because everybody will become a law unto himself, and the pandemonium and chaos will continue just like we've been saying in Africa. And again, I keep telling people, says over Africa, open continent here, our enough potential. Human resources, we are the most valuable continent on the planet. When it comes to natural resources, we are the most valuable. I want to now here on mind to say Nigeria, the whole world open my and the fertility rate higher it means young and crank to an and cry and ma or my 2 pound averagely about 6 to 5
and it's idea about heavy resources because everywhere in the world you need human resource and America and other places like Germany we had a rate at which are more warning as if we are clearly in the next 20-30 years it's going to affect the economy because we and our economy but Africa unfortunately for us the youthful population on the world you find them in Africa so when it comes to this resources the most valuable resources that a country will need to develop Africa then come to think of the natural resources gold diamond whatever you can think of in this world it will be and the saying and poverty back down to this politics of greed in as a former Emma Sandeman energy yabrabum and yawa neman ohiana adengena to Africans development so going forward we need to sit down and see say going forward and then here as a continent and I think say so Ghana sisi presently baby anaya nanam abrabo anaya namu
tana kufa do pen so ekwas fan kwa setina say
ya risky senka ye neku na ansi wo ha na John Mahama comes into the picture and 10 months after we had that kind of transformation that is happening in Ghana you'll be inspired to do say oh okay say baby ana Ghana wo this is Maya from there your friends saying commercial space we could not even go to borrow money and Sika IMF a paltry $3 billion and are buying 2 gold board intervention to be generated over 7 billion within 10 months and so say certain people are thinking some intervention has been brought to bear and again Adiana Emma Ohiana attitude of my way you say you copy all the statutory funding Sikano Koguba Bila Kwabrani di se one of the biggest, one of the safest way is to uncap all these. And here now called district assemblies in that there is a cash flow. And until I know better, I can't say you see your friend is saying chief compound Afibia because the president has taxed them. Say Afibia we are making sure say we see your friend the chief compound. Yes, it's because of the money has been released. What I say, and this way now what in China we are. So what is the magic? Because baby and Ghana all the credible rating agencies in now right here out. And I am Moody's, Fitch, S&P, and downgrade junk. Na Ghana obo Ghana so 10 months after everyone is saying that this institution will write their score on Ghana. Now on my rating high. It means that something has happened. And Mugabe, one significant thing that you need to know is that until recently the inflation and 53. Because a banner turn the Bank of Ghana into a printing press. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, printing sika system. Then inflation go yeah to our 24. Then the government comes in, come out with a certain intervention. Some no can say your project is by the end of the year. You better end with either 8 or 7. So see, I am 6.3.
If the fundamentals are weak,
exactly. Exchange rate. And so say yes. Then you come to debt to GDP. We were hovering around your first IMF the way at the back somewhere around 100% because now your debt here so much say now you into and I'm not patch out say say your debt to your GDP is around 45%. These are factual way you can't rebut them irrefutable fact said this is what is happening. Then the dollar na to say it was around 17-16 and you can see stability. So dollar is not just about 10 or 11, it is about stability so that the business community can plan. So in the next 1-2 months make me plan the business within a certain frame, and for me that is inspirational. And ECOWAS to many other African countries who now they see the signs. And I don't know make you say you see the coming back of John Mahama, there is something that people know here. He has been there before as president. First one, they say, but the fact is that being there as president, he's very assertive. He's very bold in making decisions. On India, say, because being there, that experience is there. He's tried and tested. So there is no time for mistake. And anything that we say within a short period, or might moving in a certain direction. 1 year without scandal. Because I know the war by nobody will do. Wa wo do baba wo to do ba be fire. Exactly. Oh no sir. Miro say baby Ghana do no. We ya hwan ukodi nsemu na amafo be come adwen akira wo. Because that time na amafo twam akufo order na amafo akreta obi antan no. Na akufo order your papa say nka wo pe. Wo papa na president. But ya de akonwara man na di nsemu na nipa be kana adwen akira wo. What I say it is not about say obi tan obi. The fact is I do the right thing, and for me I think say some of the interventions are binding good. For instance, appointment to huna na ya na nyansa bia enemy and look at the number of ministries or certain here. Yeah, by a certain ministry kafu say yeah baba yeah aduma no doso. Akufo the government and then that to be the most useless government in the history of this country. Another four problem. And 4 years in the year. So these are nema HS abano something has changed, something fundamentally a change. I am a Ghana for who improvement and inflation is saying and nema to as a forum. So, and there is discipline. The rate at which a government expended, Sikana Yamfa needs a Muna Yamfa young classes, and a young Bonquasia Musiama, a Kamatoy and so. So, Adia Kosubiano, Ghana for Nano, IMF say, a buying Sikana or Tam or Bank of Ghana with a Baba set dollar nuno. IMF Nanka say a Bonio. They say they wanted government to exhibit transparency in the way it is done because that is a normal practice that is done everywhere. Then in September, the government came out with a clear guideline telling people how much they are pushing in. Olaka says September I am putting 1.4. October I am putting 1.2. Last month I'm putting 800. So there is transparency. So you can't say aban papa. And yes, aban papa the only mistake. Aban only mistake. Okay, obetie na why do. For instance, my man can do lithium D whereby I think in the wisdom of the government, if you say company na ko hit snag because there has been a significant drop in your friends and lithium sikano and the company no waje what na sign ko won't be jim from is about also on yet and they are promising the party a bit too more for because as part of the negotiation they have to be relocated amount for more away nothing is happening then the company comes to government say muamamu I don't know no na pa your friends we need tons near $3,000 say I drop it to 1,200 and the akasi ye be boka so that negotiation the course wa ema adino reduce by 5 no then Ghana for so say dabi akufo ado 10 buy kwa ye say mpena your friends and ye man na ho enti Ghana for cancer asem aban no tie say if that is what you are saying there you let us pause yankwa na Ghana for nko engage na ye nyina ye tie ho ase a yanka say yakase be no 11 dey na ba bibia be you shall pass so abmamu no ne wona na ewu no wamo akonya na me na me yabusu apanyina nsebuni na adebedi eye nipa na de tumi ama wo lumba ye feze na busu apanyina say ye do obi aka na sasem bi ache no nti o na ye obeye a family settings you can do that nonsense but in governance Mugabe unti me di sanse buru no your mind no mind nipa na de tumi ama wo what I say you need to respect the people in abusu akonya that is why yes anything sa issue no buy no the government and the ministry of the land no apostle said then let us do a wider consultation say by ya nipa bete no ho ase enti ye move that decision will not be a sole decision of government but the people of Ghana are involved exactly
sorry man just a point of order on say sir rational former lands minister Jinapono every year causing side deal no Mugabe is on the record when it comes to mining any adwuma ya mining communities those days new Monteba Hafo agitation say buy and no boama ye bie ye ni you know contracts 2004 2005 how contracts are signed and all that compensation as you know settlers and no omanye and so mutumi a documentary e de be kire yen say ahimfo na gye ato nti say ohene ni gye to a na no kire say hwani na ono no nafuo ne ye twa kwan ne dia fam no ono agye ato and so mo yes documentaries ni na in the rush that be portray so community crown or community na dey mine in the call crown for bemo that am wakam yeah you remember those days Limon's time no now wakam but ne crown how many do you of wakam West Africa Association of Communities Affected by Mining and to know say if there is a restructuring of the agreement near go back to the drawing board fair enough because we need to do proper consultation and proper community engagement because a seed pain first, second, third, and many times say you could do a good deal with Krubiswa. You should have the needed community engagement. So we say, in 2 months, actually, na fe the whole agitations ne ba hono na abon say bia na omu nsuo nye but say omu need a good drinking source of water ebi omu no buy na say social responsibility so even the compensation I see dem omu per their crops and their farm size in the crown and you need a demo so maybe this no o he sa na ma we nyina na yakase aban papa enye aban papa na the only mistake now when mistake how do you take from there by making sure so you respect the people what I say because governance here nipa na ye tumi nipa na the mount and now had a resounding victory John Mahama onya ya na quite clearly is a Ghana for we fed up now no make catch be say kuna who West Africa in 2024 no Ghana you can hold by there no was a democratic revolution I koto about go aban na nisu twen form yes because who am for a t-shirt boy aka 9 pen me say mo yare 9 no in percentage na ye pe 9 in the history of this country when I lose elections 9% now say a pe aka 9 pe as I go in Mugabe because 9 is one of the biggest loss for Obia suffer in the history of this country. You don't do a t-shirt and say 9 pe. It means you are endorsing that particular thing that we are. So for me, I think say baby are doing menka say Ghana yes Dubai. Menka say mistakes and I'm not saying everything is perfect, but you see me papa so who say wako weduma to anywhere we be na wugina. Now what be aware I think that there is a wide gap in terms of comparative analysis and Ghana for new be and no West Africa. And you have said the whole of Africa. A man for who say John Mahama by despite the difficulty and Ghana no, he has been able to usher Ghana into a certain realm. I hope once again it's back on him. And to say a fan say maybe ECOWAS and because ECOWAS many of the countries are angry with the way a man over the years are standing as a white elephant the same way EU and for Mugabe Maase it's like a useless entity of Mugabe. So exactly so you need somebody who can bring certain be to bear. Every countries now like Burkina Faso, they walk away from ECOWAS. You come from ECOWAS from financial. So you need somebody connecting all these in a quest for development as a united front Africa. Yes, because he has been very free with the affairs at Tuare and other countries. And I know Cote d'Ivoire, the Fractana engagement with them today. He's in Abuja and at several other places. Now clearly a choice that person because he has been there before and that connection is how we know how that so it's easy to connect, you understand, and with the depth of experience I'm sure say let us hope say yanuma yabomo bu about ECOWAS you are if some for some mass over the years because the purpose for its setup we realize here and member countries don't even respect it. So let us see say the hope and confidence that John Mahama has brought to this country can also be sent to say Africa the kind of dignity here because Mugabe said Masiaka and continent why do we have to go outside cap in hand begging? What I say we don't need because Samir Jamfi a gold board has demonstrated clearly said there is enough wealth in this country. We can take care of ourselves without going to because Yakopa man for 3 billion now within a short period it means we over 6 to 10 billion our gold border. You need to respect that and know say yes certain intelligence has been brought to bear. Some comic characters go on TV and they will tell you say the air cost in abanda in Shishaya do go in Shishaya bang aban ben na winning nansa obetina akonya for 8 good years now want to me amfa intervention ba kokora ma obenya so mfaso e ma manfo gu enuma si tu kofi ansana o so called intervention so anya mfaso a yeti kroma na disike din se nipa nya aduade ni na disike tu amana se cathedral yes single-handedly at gold board. That is the sort of intervention that they brought to this country. So up things there and people wanted to wrap that particular thing by bringing a lot of silly ways or to talk galamsey for gold na say over the years gold no moto free first no moto gold free to me
and I say jewelry shop na
exactly and I think say sa particular way abai yet me replicating other folder e betimi aba na no na make say even timber kra no we can go the gold board where make sure the government become the only source of export in this particular country. Abasa Sikano will come to government and several other ways. Exactly.
Timber board.
A timber board. And so we allow people to do
that. Policy media find people for I don't know so okay even after the election some Mugabe can say Charlie the way NDC a craft and a draft gold board policy no. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, 18 years ago, 19 years ago, 20 years ago, 21 years ago, 22 years ago, 23 years ago, 24 years ago, 25 years ago, 26 years ago, 27 years ago, 28 years ago, 29 years ago, 30 years ago, 31 years ago, 32 years ago, 33 years ago, 34 years ago, 35 years ago, 36 years ago, 37 years ago, 38 years ago, 39 years ago, 40 years ago, 41 years ago, 42 years ago, 43 years ago, 44 years ago, 45 years ago, 46 years ago, 47
Ebanisa no man huda. You know, I almost said that.
And I said, understand. What is why I say, I have my son, like I said, even in opposition, look at the conduct of
now you said your mama beat me. I know, but you did say beat my intent saying.
Oh, I think that nature is in his favor. Because all the indicators in economic analysis be anywhere by a basis. I bet you justify where we are today. And I think that nature itself, because we are Ghana now, never be another corner. Certain things has to be brought to bear. So maybe to quicken because not Ghana for here.
Fundamental.
Yes. Now I'm for lose hope. Our democracy. And I on the integration, cool leader about Kruma. He became a hero. And that was very important. Yes. But Ghana for lose trust and confidence in this. Exactly.
But they say your mama.
But
it became a signal to democratically elected leaders to say, so man set up, no man know what the people want.
Yes. And you know, clearly a choice about something has happened in this country, and a boost to Ghana for confidence, and not just about a sem kaka. Say I about your Mahama Abaso without anything. I don't for quite take you serious, but there are factual realities a bit under penny whatever you're saying, and it's a bad gold board, a bad dollar, a bad way. So these are factors undisputed. Nobody can rebut them without any way there, which means something is happening. And for me, that is Adeba bringing investor confidence. And again, this institutions are making sure say we are lying. For instance, the judiciary over the years ruling free court by the biggest court of the land. Ordinary person because ruling with the Nyansaba ordinary people subjecting your Supreme Court ruling to intellectual scrutiny, and they will tell you say Nyansa be a new ruling. A choice that we are investor, we be very careful. And into that, most of our agreement with international, obviously they don't want to use our court in terms of litigation. Yes, they want to use foreign arbitration or any other court because they do not have to, or the millions of dollars there. Now, they will not allow that. That is why most of the arbitration so I think that you will certain, all these critical institutions and agencies are very important. I think that John Mahama should stay focused and lay the solid foundation for a new Ghana that is about to take off. Because my culture Akufo-Addo era should be consigned as a dark pages in our political history. Nobody want to go back. But going forward, in the future, John Mahama may be seen as the person who built the foundation for the new Ghana taking off. And I think that for now, he's on what track it may build on this. Ghana will once again get to our destination.
Very well. Live on TVS and also on Power 97.9 FM. Don, all the Rebecca who are move on.
Yeah, why not? Because say we are talking about GM there, now there's a lot. Now me the American is going to the African Union, any ECOWAS, no, or bet me put a shine on Ghana now beyond the no you hear what Ghana has to, offer the world, because Ghana, after over 64 years as an independent country, no, and you might be be a head so or and you're lacking infrastructure. And South Drive no they seen and also say key major road projects or bet me within a space of 2 years, because Adebakwa and Hannah says projects or many more. Idea you bet me the be 200 that come home. Let's speed up a year work in progress. Nobody wants in the paper 10 go. It's a bit slow pace now. And now I'm out for so BA from the previous era, near so politicians, it me dilly around projects are no more an election year. No, as a bait to win the next election. It's only on the free. So that's the one reason why I make us say many JM at the timelines are 2 projects need be fantastic. And now no a site tour. You could see a speed up the project. And this the kind of Africa needs a leader who is mobile. Fantastic. We don't need a diplomatic president and a ceremonial president that be out near the documents able to any. 2 years ago we will see total waste. Because if you are a president who is always on the ground like Rwanda president here, on this highway, when the MC so under your watch and the coin is what say, fire 1, 2, 3 all other MCs will set up. Yes. So you can use even one district as a case study. Now, I run across all districts. And for Biabo say, Charlie, if you don't set up a president, his eyes are on the ground, he'll fire you. So we need a president who is mobile. That's why I'm happy for JM, because one, age in his early 60s, so he's still young. Who's a physical, he still got that energy and that drive. So this is the time and he needs to be mobile, moving up and down, moving through all the 16 regions. And then within 2 years, Ubonse or minor and Yama are stabilized, because now I think I lack of my national discipline. Everybody thinks to say, oh minor, your slogan and I moto freedom and justice. You understand? But when there is, a national policy and an agenda, that's at times I'm a catching call for say you as a president, it's like a father in a family setting.
Yeah.
How you get up in the morning to 2 p.m. call gardens, mundo doha, munya planting waha, high water way near the same way as you as a president or mine or all run because on my mano and it's a one shama uba Australia. The same way our president, and we saw him more mindfulness to go astray. Exactly. You put them to check, strict scrutiny, discipline, and none ama countries need be in Rwanda out of war. Let me do all a try and say Rwanda, because this is a president that is always on the ground. And I'll just appeal, say JM comeback, should be an action comebacker. Energy or they buy where somebody buy a reset agenda near the say you desire energy mind you, half by 2026 this same time you bet now if you need to be praises people will just be clamoring and say no, this president needs an extension of term because of Numa Oye.
You also want to term.
So need your waka. But like you said, if say public cry no basso, we need you for an extension into Nottingham now feel to Tomaya. Mind you, mind be consistency.
Yeah.
When it comes to consistency in government, also now if you're able to stay for like 8, 12, 20, 16, 20 years, and my stability ball mining and more consistent trend in development. But MPP, they honestly general and I'm afraid for that party and what is to come, because saying and looking at all money they just exist because the word opposition is there. But when it comes to say the word opposition is there, ain't no more when you're from opposition. But pass a to put the government on these tools. So you begin to wonder, say, on what basis do they even exist as a political party?
Serious, or, I mean,
they are not serious. It is almost now almost to me unite all forces to put the government on check. Now say all my crying fear no to mean CC here. A better no more a corner magana for I say and 2 minutes show Musa. A better thing. Into no NDC should keep going forward and keep going on, the trend they are going, Now young fan pi bon tower much because here pro the next 4 years we are living with the NDC. Into you see it me tower much and for me that's the beauty of democracy. So even if you are in opposition now criticize constructively a bit of credibility. But so if you are criticizing for criticizing sake because you are an opposition person and then you lose all credibility, that's why Bantam Ebeka answer me far expressway why unpopular so me and Sunday school mates what be unpopular
for Sunday school.
Yeah, see, I mean, we grew together in the same neighborhood. Me and Sunday school boom. And St. Joseph, you and me, classmates from primary Cambridge to Prempeh College.
Okay.
And as and so you are Sunday school mates. How about to Mama Methodist Church?
Let me do what you baby.
Mango down.
Okay. I think that we see, baby, you're doing there in our politics and you need 1990 BM and I need 1992. So you can whip public sentiment. So tribal cast and nobody may play me as Antony me and automatically more. And the people want to look at the real issues. And we are journalists now. What radio so now can sama men never say you can speak lies. now get your way. Because people will fact check you and prove to you say you are hollow, instead of and you have a basis. So it is very important to our journalist friends out there. More than journalists, let me tell me a journalist. Say, answer about the journal from so the concept no. You should know say you are speaking to discerning minds who will subject virtually whatever you say be to critical scrutiny and fact check. So I know that they insist what they will not swallow those things. You cannot deceive the public now. Until our engagement for credibility sake. We job on now can making sure that they all can what here. So one tia who producer not any other person engage them to explain the subject to you. So you don't maternity. What maternity is say Merira Hopa na about $10 billion in a day. That is pure ignorance, and I say ignorance a bliss, but to advertise it publicly is stupidity. We don't do that.
Journalism, we as hosts and then panelists, always when you sit behind the console, you are to educate, inform, and to entertain. Now, and you would say, "Wow, be a wait."
Yeah, and I will fear about what they seek to do is he is very uninformed, and they want to impose that uninformed understanding on the public and make it with the reality. And as or imposing a twisted understanding of something.
One example. Ivan,
this is the reality.
Just a recent example. Also, over the weekend there was a social media video be JM Sharaf or co-event be a military escort be.
Okay.
Now, I don't know where the information is coming from. A man fulfill say Abia young man in Mumuna will recruit military personnel me say on escort. Information I mean man say military detail and never as security check. And omo your station or more event na say that. Into a mini P no and man escort to baby obekwa kwatena. But then when you go on social media, most journalists are flying comments as if say Onuna recruit the military person so man that escort. Obi say JM reset doesn't include allowing a military person with a gun to escort your son. That is also arrogance of power. Kindly do the needful. But you as a journalist, you should first do your check and find out say boy no ono an recruit military personnel no so mfani ko event no or ba not in the car mu ono no bie ne do ma no ono ne ne baaye and but when you that check now you this poster now for eventually ebia information ministry government communications na say attorney general Godfrey Dami say na so you need kra ne bag e bie we need to do checks on most of these things now. The correct information,
yeah, so it's very important because some people are very dangerous, especially in American military for the you pack 46 now buy a man almost close to 80%. Now because your money is kaboom no more for dear. At the end of the day, within the military, you say what salary crowd you company your deductions are your salary. Yes. Within build a certain animosity be always you incite the forces and the back of fans and the threaten national security. So it is very important for a professional. It will take 3 or 4 people to rebel and then we will get explosion. You understand? So I think very important
for that wonderful submission. Live on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM. Yeah, fast like I said, Safari Valley Eco Resort or more doing in the eastern region will do environment where you serene year pa chese ura whether no so who say whether papa and wildlife experience will be never ho and the antelopes ne a zebra moko na omo eba ostrich would do kwada ni do wa umani beje papa brunyi e wasa wodem kwada no ko ho umufri amanane na aba Germany, France, Belgium, Italy omo mu free Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, any Finland ba mo fan kwada ni unra ho se de be a omo betimenya wildlife experience ni bi ewo aso omu nua ne kama omo serve local and continental dishes aso no mo swimming pool any gym bibia kama ewa so yo hwomacha kwan eye Safari Valley Eco Resort ewo dewi in the eastern region omo okre constituency from 059 691 4394 059 691 4394 ofra omo ebejo so power specialist about hospital mama eduya na free wase brana so ye ho components wo minim wo ye obo wo ye bema tutumika fiber na ha o menu aba eye osa wonu mpeni ba bi na atechema adwonkoso aposo broken bones ni nyina fa wako power specialist about hospital prostate na etete won memma no sciatica no sisi echi twenwa besi wona ase no ni nyina wode kwaso a obehwe ama fatty liver hepatitis A B C D ana se yibia fatumika ko ya maami adu ya ho no beboa wode wani cheta kwade wanaje estate obeyanaje MA primary school no Kumasi fo wani chief ya silik bosomtwe continency aputu ja kwa no so wani Jazbo filling station no na edi enhwe ni mu nkra ha wo kwabenya pokwasi CP kwantempo no so fe maami adu ya power specialist about hospital on 0244544422 0244544422 Divine Hope Aba Center mo na de wo twia heba pada o se atadwe wo se ne yate denne ememe wo se yi wo se ne gina so brenye ene ebidi papa wo Spain wo se metua yira emane mema wo sisina eha wo no wadwonkoso wonya Divine Hope Aba Center o medo ayato de se o twia heba pada ne bia fatu nsu mu de wote ano na de agu cup ba ko mu nsu de no wanoma no pa enwumre no wasan bobi se de obo oti no koko na eha wo no pa se fifi wo anase esi wo baby sexual weakness mema o maye mre e wo mpem be me bie ni ho a waye mre wo mpem ye fane dadon be me bie ni ho a waye mre wo mpem a ye fane se eye Ivan be ma ho odin na ye fro capacity man na mo mu betu mirika na wo de wani a kire Divine Hope Aba Center wakope otwa heba pada ne bi na wano ebedi wasema ma o sa na etete wo no be ma watenkan wo fom oba watenkan wo fom menstrual disorder oba ku mfichiri wa ya se ball dwe wo hia otwa heba pada ne bi numna no pa enwumre 1 cup fa egum na nsuo de powder ne sanigum na afi yenko kofori dia for monitor gaps information benya bi ho so nwane House of Dry Sanso na mo Cape Coast boache ansa tema for monitor na boache heba na eye PK gumbila nso aso yo tamale frɛ otwa heba eye powder fui e wo 0550639037 0550 639-037 na 0591 565-557 0591 565557 ofra omo ebeje oso na bibia so otimi akonkan de amount ewo asoyo Tema Development Corporation TDC Limited omo kire SCC omo bo mo modin ya chese Ghana's premier real estate development company omo announce say omo official entry into the Volta region ewo ho no is part of activities here leading to unveiling of its major upcoming Maase development project ya chese say Oxygen City yakopon atuma on Wednesday 17th December 2025 His Excellency John Dramani Mahama President of the Republic of Ghana wode nenimu nyambe kwa kwehye jumedi ya say result 10 am na jumedi atumi ahyehye so ewo ho menyi ho emfim S natural mineral water brunya nsu ne enie enwa na edibedi brunya S yene aye nsu wode woni 37 Abebesi Street the heart of Accra Osu Babeto Robert ewo ha ani asori ba nsu dudu obi a opibia no oba onsa ebetumi aka ye na wo ye wed na wo ye engagement na wo ye brunya busha full from nani aba wo top no ahoho abefi nso so wo de serve wo no X natural mineral water mi wura mi fie no na me de serve nkoda yi mo sori anu anu wo nom anopa ewia enwumre efiem pibi ne fasim na wo so nya nkoda no nsupa say water is life memphis kan koto yade ye obenum nsu a X natural mineral water for ne chire adwuma mu ha 37 Abebesi Street out of Accra Osu and now be 0596273546 0596273546 wura Osu ha na eja wura supermarket obushi ho a obushi ku fridge mu bebre oboba kumieno wona akro no na chese yenkonkon brunyen enu anie die bi hu Mr. Robert wa ha sanso na ofre Clifford on 0596273546 ya dudu obi a opebia no onsa ebetumi aka Victory Garlic Mesa Efi Dr. Mwako nipadua no bejina ne naso ye immune system no ebe wo so kama ehu anso benya Victory Garlic Mesa blood circulation betimi akosi moja betimi edi nipadua no mafrusa ne yi a wohia Victory Garlic Mesa sanso eno ba ko mfichi anu ya se bodwedwe wohia Victory Garlic Mesa obi a wontumi ni die wanum ato obro ne beka se loss of appetite wohia Victory Garlic Mesa se digestion bibia betimi akoyi a wohia Victory Garlic Mesa Mesa tutu mrekai ko pharmacy shop ebewo herbal shop ebewo wo also pe Victory garlic mixture ni bi eye ni nyina no unya bi na wono manopa enwumira ebetumi aboa wo mu ye obi a wo yopem for men numbi wo ma abofra ni fuso men numbi fe Dr. Mwako 0242545633 0242545633 and 0201293280 0201293280 wo fe Dr. Mwako a obeje oso Victory garlic mixture pharmacy shop bi ebenwo wo ma obenye bi ato Mugabe Maase clinic and herbal center NFA Mugabe Maase omuna akwakofa live kid capsules ediaba idwaso na live kid capsules si wonya bi na aboba ebo ye papa na obi bi sa say live kid capsules no duro ben duro a Mugabe Maase ediaba idwaso a so wonya bi na wonoma eboa ema wo brebo no liver no tumi function ye papa ema yarewa bia ntumi ewura unipadua no sign boost we immune system no san aboa ma digestion so no etumi ekoso kama ewo nipadua no wompe we na opadie oba obemu ubetumi nipadua no begina na naso kama mo wabo adwuma ama bibia konkan a wonya so benya live kit capsules ni bi na wabobo na etumi aboa wo fe Dr. Mugabe Maase on 0244068447 0244068447 ofra Dr. Ebejo so na bibia nso etimi akonkan Adoma Junior say yes the dawn is in the house na just muga kajani gumusa na yanko yen enim Hebron Hills International School papa baako ya chese Ghana fo nyina ga wes umaji atum ewo media of the Nsawam Road school is wo fe na school se ne efe no saa na nkwada no so du ha omo brofo ka ene omo acheche no bibia ekoyie tutumekai obi a wo ya ban adwuma anopa no nsiu ana nunum ena apesa wo de oba no contentam so ye beje no na akwa adwuma wo ban so a traffic hawa wuni haw eno ase obeye hyehyeye oba bidu abefa oba asomdwema wonti atenkaboni bia achechefo no mofa no abutiri ye papa yeah, was on our do discipline na dedication and determination here and one near the free woman say excel and shine lower and upper primary so go so ekoso Montessori tete na de mam of rano school run free Britain aba ya chese wudu wa yes oba hima we free Britain aba obabidu learning materials no de aba tutumiriku na nkoda no humadi na humadi ne organic nko an what de ohun say yes nam ne de ma boa ne kunu ne de ye aduane no nya afi ne yes ye kwa ye kowura dabi emu kosu omodie no omo school no farmer enwa ne produce eye nkosua no nkokọ no eni bibia mu omodi omo nantwie farm omo ponche wonwai na jese nkoda no omodidie mu no eye kama pa ubidu ho no wo ye parent obidu wo menu no ho ena oba no so aduane bi ho no oni a wo ye allergy wo ye wo sa allergy bibia e wo ho ye bibisa oba ne die ne woni ni wo fi menu no ho nti wo se oba no ene wo ko ye wodi gare ene eye kokọ nti obe fi awensa man the same food ni bi obe hu hawa obe si ama na bia ne die na timi akonkan school bi anya san hye pa we you say Hebron Hills International School say excel and shine media of the Nsawam Road ho e na obe hu mo akasema du nsia na no nsia abosha no nsia no nsia ba ye de dwumadi nyina ebeba ewiye ene ebo no wotwe kree na chese Emmanuel Wilson Junior obetena se nkunya no wasi ya wada di animu eye lawyer Martin Pigbu 1-on-1 4 p.m. na chese otifidie mu ha na chese malani a program no efisa no ikosi fiada lawyer Pigbu beba on Thursday na chese yeni no ebesimu ha chese ensemo ebehwie gu fia no ese woni sese ye kache wonti the don Kwabna Pra Junior ene eya Ivan Innocent etia Mondays they always say me family squad ni agro ejanu temu sa very well yeni aba Dr. Mary we see baby will be ene nyame enka ho gusua dadofo ebeja wo last week ma we yo ma ye ewo osiem yeda yadofo nyina ase chief of staff ne mpanifo awodo amobaye nyina no esense ni kejani aseda Excellency John Dramani Mama ene abusua do ya moye no na fedodo abamu mpanifo bibia yeda obibia ase ene mi hu National Sports Authority Board no mi hu Samson D wom na mani agiye pa the dean Samson the dean oboyjuma well avan you for last one no on a year pandai na afi you for jumedi no momo share time no ma me so be start na don the meji ade okay so down the misi here fantastic avan chance na don for me
yeah I think that the besia na asino say oh your politics now or say what the arrogance na sa nema we be ya we ya na uhu and this is a political party one lose power in a very shameful manner. But even in opposition, they keep losing the numbers. Quite clearly, your friends say they've crossed their Rubicon. And for me, what the court did, after examining all the facts, they be see, but Birimu Bisa say, oh, NBC are winning seat, we bring away more yen a day. Mugabe, and now sorry, na politics. And you need to be very serious. Say I can number backokrana sa wojine ye sa wojifri nsem man ko tenafie because opposition na or the mfaso ben na wo so brabo na modebo apart from say yantina fantina parliament say yem fanjim kwase achinwe yem making sure that the proceedings will not happen. One of the MPs interview ka say their job is to sabotage parliament, to sabotage proceedings because they don't have the numbers to do. And for me, that's very frustrating, and I keep telling people that unfortunately, the MPP that is supposed to be a responsible opposition party, that is not what they are doing, and that is very common with them. When they are in power, they destroy. When they go to opposition, they sabotage, and they are very destructive, very arrogant, and that is their nature. So Ghana will not sympathize with them with some of these things, and this ordinary may not need this see for anything. I heard the posture, the conduct, like quiet and for some more say NBC decide to boycott this particular way. Supporters and Ankasa and the Betray Party the form because these people deserve no sympathy. And again, OBCO, na numbers no money, Sabaya democracy numbers no munya and I never mamma demo money papa na demo because one person the Kufuado went to Kumasi and a man for Bisa and said, oh my yo cry more now among the Kumasi what their largest we don't find saying one of the constituency or Koya almost Kwabre almost more per coin or some Kokomuti or do about to a fashion baby and the people decide as almost the Mukomuti say Mount Obama one say one lose numbers in parliament so for me I think that the best year but unfortunately subsequent to that quite unfair or more handle or our parliament in as a form and the year because my culture Ghana for politics I say you can't sway that tribal and emotional cast and get your way. Oko parliament make sure say Juma DS Woody as a critical opposition party that is what you do. But now when they see all the scaffolds in their course they could not even say to look at bills for the government and the form man call now 15 way has been approved by the proportion in as a form. It means the money in their sounds as opposition that is not what you're doing. And for me there is this propaganda circular that has been written for all MPP communicators no modern and parliament is some of them are repeating the same thing or say more than 44 constituencies 44 police stations in the core never understand a court na kase yan only way because in the first place NBC arm for 44 and core so here your friends we need no music now. I've seen the official they were asking for the annulment of the entire election because obviously the credibility of the election was tainted. And again court I catch the court to say after examining all the critical facts because when I will be near we had relief be a free say me fit for me di no fama me so obi court no kwesa ademo na court no head nemo nyina no ka say baby aduru election is e court no fofo because emra da ho ase de to aba no manfa so a then what is your beef? And then you go could do press conference now catch the Ghana for say court near kangaroo court. Say a court a kangaroo court. I want to setting up because you the only person of any market with Chief Justice on Friday conventionally Supreme Court entrance about within less than 12 hours and Panama could do what's amount. Kangaroo court na former MP will use on the ticket of MPP. Man better the judge at the man better your friends a bench so in this modern day Ghana for civilized when you do some of this nonsense you think people have trust in your judiciary, go to High Court. Akufo-Addo appointed almost 60 judges. I have been here, legal advisors for MPP as a political party. They are all wearing your friends upon going to the court and you think we are joking? Say, cancer obia your court no kangaroo court. So whatever way I say upon going no more whatever it is. Mugabe, these are the realities of Ghana. For instance, a Ghana court a kangaroo court. Akufo-Addo setting up the kangaroo.
So what did you do?
All packing with oh, you see, it's about seriousness. Say, oh, abaimu. Na say incumbency will favor you. No. That is one thing on NDC side. And the young guys are so serious. ECD will never want I'm for the kind of Pandayo. I'm for the parliament. Yes, I'm for the parliament. NDC decline and party or non for sitting in the show. But they are there already. So that is the seriousness.
Very well. May I say, Ivan innocent. Don't. First of all, my mini can share mini baby darling Chris me follow about Kubina. Or say some of this side is Kobe Unicef Salute who say George Kobla Atiki Munina life or Kobe. Darling Chris say on some the other side I'm your hot sir because no food said they be me as a host intimo. Or something try embrace a panel now. Fire no mupa. Made our no say. But you know Pandai no Enisa NDC a fall for Musa Dankwa a post no diaban. Okay. Because elections are won at the polling stations. Fantastic. And until the last drop also MPP is trying to play the sympathy card. Initially no msen komu nkokra. So where from now I feel Jinemua Omufu say is going in their favor in Omunko. Sani siwo Ablekuma Ekwefriye ne Erabra Obin Diano. At a point I know Ekwefriye felt as a constituency ne dono. Or kwa obe when hands down. Party now man that support. And mama the support now fi base no die no. At the last hour I feel amobu yasembe komuno. Now the harm has already been done. Similarly, we been a course of Pandai no. The MPP felt to say, election, maybe our courts ruling and it doesn't favor them into maybe election, they are not going. But I've heard some of their leaders also move to Pandai to support the candidate. Party no any focus. And you're united into no. So candidate in a person kokra party in person beko. Party in person kwa candidate in person beko. And such a party, so your mind no eshanin sa. Not just Omano Ebejija no. And Ghanaians should look at our attitude even in opposition and know where they are coming from. Such a party are any focus and direction. No? So we need your mind show Munsape or mind no Ebejija no. And me, I'm just hoping say we will be kwa so Bruno Emmanuel yes eduano twa so a ebefifi ba tu ase na emfifi bio this is the time for 8 years Ghana for ediania on crofo winsa no pa. Fantastic. So we are not giving them any chance of mercy. So one city painting, why do we put in all our arsenals? You need the super majority to change certain things that needed to be changed or might change when they were in power. Okay. And I believe that if the NDC goes all out for this election, Joseph Yamino or Miami Junior, Kogan, so and others are, Kogan Junior. Yeah, from the college. Yeah, okay. It's all new day. I mean, fresh fish. Owen to meet was my junior. Kwabena Junior. Mugabe, you know, you're on the phone. I don't know. And to win to win for Pampa Mubianta. And when you be as an adjo Pampa or school. Yeah, that's how it has to play out. Say the elections is on when 31st. Yeah, so more days ahead. And government in power, incumbency advantage can favor you in taking in. And it's also become a norm, say, when it's an election period and even a by-election, you put in all your arsenals to ensure, say, development. And one thing, sir, constituency BR should know, say, so now, if there's a by-election, you have to go with the government in power. Yes. And not independent candidates, A+ money. The others know who you are. Almost say, if you go with the government in power, you are likely to get development and also be with the majority. Yeah. You go with where the majority are. And so one candidate or your mother into almost the manner. Mind the way you parliament or no minister about very well, I say Junior for your time. Sanson Madam Vanche innocent and so I say Nanchake Command Misa Nathaniel Ado, or former presiding member and parliamentary candidate for Ayabli Kumanov, Chake Sekese and Koma Alaji McBrown of Alajo, Central Moscow, so Oshe Jumedi Life with Chake Sekese and Komamu and Christopher Bibia Boko, dear Derek J. Sanso and a Lydia Double, Muninamo, T. Jumedi, Yami Esho, Bia Sanso and Mr. George Annan, Mijesa also Bibia Boko, lawyer Martin Pigbu, and also enjoy so near Papa Kwabna Pra Junior the Dawn, Yebeda Senior da Enya Avan. So I say, Kofi Job contractor papa Asante Wenye Kofi mejesa one eye bimpa mu nyina so mo ho eye ne abusua ni nyina ye koso na ye nso ye nua cake Ghana Gas woso ye chia o sa nso na ye nua Henry Lai woso was Spinters Road Nyakopon enhirao na onye kese Daddy washing be media woni ho kafo obaya Daddy wahwe wunua be ma ya ewo mampon nsuta minim se ye ebeba so ye beba ne aba abesomo. Hey, Robert Safu Mensa Buba, former MP, Esunafo, no, and also enjoy showing here, Papa, boss, yes, and over here, Chacha, very well, but that'll be us. Fantastic. Dr. Amiasu, Holy Family, a hospital, a attachment, getting you. Ata social, what we need to, Junior
Mugabe Maase
now I'm not someone
Alex were friends. I'm one of the answer no funny Stephen team. Oh, so time as Stephen team ran the chairmanship no can the team very well. Recent local team say Stephen go US or when we arrange. As also hello back.
Almost enche o munyina. No. Very well Mugabe Maase ni media body and dom ya say china yet nkwama ye be share the sally 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. na ene dia ye so na enyumre no sin akase ye bo producer na by friend of Fabia one action kwa no pe action movie in friend action kwa so about then do me yet na exactly 3 p.m. be say e dey enhia mamu nyina mo